Apocalypse mobile phone system. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 476 Drowning Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao has accompanied Xiao Yu to see the sea, so now he has to set off for the next task. After all, time is running out, and the day of the nuclear bomb launch is not far away. Our uncle and aunt still in Kingshan? Then let's hurry back and not go to Longman Mountain. Although it takes a little more time to go to Longman Mountain, it won't take much time. I promised Lao Wu that I would send him to Longman Mountain. I'm almost there, and I can't break my promise halfway. Brother Xiao Yao, be careful behind you. Xiao Yao was walking towards Xiao Yu, but suddenly heard Xiao Yu scream. Then Xiao Yao quickly looked back. Fuck. The originally calm sea suddenly rose tens of meters high. Run. Xiao Yao desperately ran to Xiao Yu's place, then quickly grabbed Xiao Yu's arm and ran madly to the shore. However, humans can't fight against nature after all. The tens of meters of huge waves were like a sky curtain, pressing directly over. You, hold on to me. Xiao Yao hugged Xiao Yu tightly. Xiao Yao, I'm scared. Gululu. Xiao Yu's last voice came to his ears. Gululu. With a loud noise, Xiao Yao only heard the sound of himself and Xiao Yu drowning. Fuck, I can't swim. At this time, Xiao Yao's heart was full of shit, and he could not find the direction at all. He was a landlubber and could be drowned in a 1-meter deep pond. The tens of meters high waves almost drowned Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao held Xiao Yu's hands tightly, but because of drowning, his hands unconsciously grabbed around until he lost consciousness. The huge waves came quickly and went quickly. As the waves hit the houses on the shore, the waves slowly flowed back. Everything seemed to have never happened. Only the various mutant marine creatures washed up on the beach, and the shore represented that this huge wave had been there. On a step, Xiao Yao's unconscious body was surrounded by mutant creatures. They were surrounding Xiao Yao's body and wanted to eat him. However, they couldn't even break his defense, and could only force Xiao Yao to lose 1 point of blood. But it was not as fast as Xiao Yao's blood recovery speed. So their damage was like scraping, not painful. That's Captain Xiao Yao, hurry up. The waves directly hit the town, and the people who were packing their bags in the town found it. At this time, Lao Shao was rushing here with a team of people. Although they might not be able to help Xiao Yao, they still wanted to see if Xiao Yao was fighting with some zombies. However, they only found Xiao Yao lying motionless on the steps in the distance, and Xiao Yu had disappeared. Let's drive away these damn seafood together. At this time, Lao Sha found that Xiao Yao was surrounded by seafood, so he picked up a stick and beat all the seafood to death or drove them away. Then Lao Sha quickly helped Xiao Yao up. Captain. Captain. Wake up, Captain. Xiao Yao must have drowned. We have to drain the water out of Xiao Yao's stomach. Captain Bayan appeared behind everyone. The sudden waves also made Captain Bayan discover the abnormality. He told his teammates what to do, and Captain Bayan hurried over to check the situation. Captain Bayan, can you do it? We are all rough guys, we don't know this kind of first aid measures. I know a little. Then Captain Bayan, come quickly. Then Lao Sha said to the people around him. You guys, hurry back now, see who knows first aid, let him hurry to the beach. Yes. Several people took the order and ran to the town. Captain Bayan came over directly at this time and wanted to turn Xiao Yao over, but Xiao Yao's weight was not something a weak woman like her could turn over. Even if she was a retired soldier, it would not work. Come on, try harder, turn Xiao Yao over first and drain the water out of his stomach. Captain Bayan gave up and decided to let everyone work together to turn him over. They would definitely be able to turn this fat guy over even if they went berserk, but Captain Bayan didn't want to use the berserk skill. In order to turn Xiao Yao over, he had to use the awakening skill. This was such a shameful thing. Captain Bayan might as well have asked everyone to help. The group used all their strength to turn Xiao Yao over. Captain Bayan pressed for a while, and Xiao Yao's mouth sprayed seawater several times. Then everyone turned Xiao Yao over again. Captain Bayan tilted Xiao Yao's face to the side, and then took off the reconnaissance eyes for Xiao Yao and put them aside. In order to allow the drowning person to breathe more smoothly, the clothes must be untied. Captain Bayan did not avoid suspicion and directly untied Xiao Yao's shirt. However, Captain Bayan tried his best but could not untie Xiao Yao's shirt. This shirt is Xiao Yao's ancient god armor. If it does not meet the attribute requirements, not only can the equipment not be equipped, but it cannot even be picked up, let alone untied. Everyone help untie Xiao Yao's clothes. Captain Bayan gave up. Is Xiao Yao's clothes welded? Why can't it be untied at all? And Lao Sha tried for a long time, but still couldn't untie Xiao Yao's clothes. Forget it, time is running out. Captain Bayan found that he couldn't untie Xiao Yao's clothes, so he stopped untie them. Time was running out, and Xiao Yao had to be given CPR as soon as possible. Captain Bayan pressed hard on Xiao Yao's chest rhythmically. Captain Bayan, this is necessary. Xiao Yao has stopped breathing because he has been drowning for too long. CPR must be given to him, otherwise it will be too late. After pressing several times, Captain Bayan leaned over to Xiao Yao's mouth and gave him artificial respiration. Time passed by minute, but Xiao Yao still showed no signs of waking up. Lao Sha saw that there was nothing he could do to help, so he stood up and told everyone to look for Deputy Captain Xiao, because Xiao was not with Xiao Yao, and might have been washed away by the waves to another place. Cough, cough, cough. God will not let down those who work hard. Xiao Yao finally woke up, and then Xiao Yao took a few deep breaths. You. Xiao Yao grabbed the hand of the person in front of him. Xiao Yao, I'm Li Wei. Xiao Yao's vision gradually became clear. In front of him was Bayan Li Wei with short purple hair, not Xiao. Where's Xiao? Xiao. Xiao Yao got up and shouted to the crowd around him. Xiao Yao, everyone is looking for him. Looking for him? Isn't Xiao next to me? No, we only found you lying here alone when we came, and there was no trace of Xiao. How is it possible? No. Xiao must be nearby. Lao Sha. Captain, I'm here. At this time, Lao Sha ran over. Mobilize everyone, I don't care what method you use, find Xiao for me. Yes, Captain. Chapter 477 Xiao is missing. Captain Bayan rescued Xiao Yao, who was drowning, but Xiao was missing. Xiao Yao mobilized everyone to search for Xiao. Lao Sha also shouted to the crowd around him. Keep looking, expand the scope. Xiao Yao also joined the search team. Xiao Yao did not go to the shore, but rushed to the sea. The huge waves appeared only after he killed those damn crabs. In other words, it must be because of these damn crabs. Xiao Yao ran to the sea and shouted at the sea. Let Xiao out, come at me if you have the guts, come at me if you have the guts, let Xiao out. Ah! Xiao Yao fired gold darts at the sea frantically, but the sea was calm, and there was no so-called 10-meter huge wave just now. No. Xiao must still be nearby. Xiao Yao ran frantically along the sea, and ran for several kilometers in a row. Xiao Yao stopped next to an old lighthouse. Plop. Xiao Yao knelt on the beach. Why? Xiao Yao didn't know why the sea wanted to take Xiao away. Was he destined to live out his life alone? Yi Xinru was taken away by someone else, and Xiao was taken away by the sea. Who would be the next one? Xiao Yao didn't even dare to look for his parents. What if he was a jinx and no matter who he met, he would have a bad ending? What should he do? There were footsteps behind him. Xiao Yao turned around quickly and found that it was Captain Bayan who followed him. Let me be alone for a while. You've gone far away from Donghu town. It's time to go back. Have you found Xiao? We're still looking for him. I believe there will be news soon. How soon? Xiao Yao, cheer up. Your teammates are still waiting for you to go back. I can't even protect Xiao. What qualifications do I have to create a team? Xiao Yao, I know you are sad about the disappearance of Sister Yu, but disappearance does not mean death. Maybe Sister Yu was washed away to another place by the waves. In this doomsday world, everyone has their own adventures. How can you think that Xiao has met with misfortune? Yes, everyone has their own adventures. Xiao will definitely be blessed by heaven. Xiao Yao wiped away his tears, stood up and walked along the beach towards Donghu town. I'm sorry, Xiao, I couldn't protect you. The reason why Xiao Yao suddenly thought it through was because he had a survival log. Since he couldn't find Xiao now, then, as long as I wait for the survival log to be updated, I will know where Xiao is, and then I can save her. It is useless for me to be decadent here. Back to the beach again, Lao Xiao was still directing everyone to find Xiao Yao. Seeing Captain Xiao Yao and Captain Bian coming back, Lao Xiao walked up quickly. Captain, have you found Xiao Yao? Not yet, but we found this. Reconnaissance, rare canvas shoes. This must be Xiao Yao's. Where did you find it? Near the sea. Deputy Captain Xiao Yao may have been swept into the sea by the huge waves. Go to the sea to find it. Captain, but... Lao Xiao hesitated a little. There are mutant creatures in the sea. Going to the sea to find it is tantamount to going to die. No buts. Whoever finds Xiao Yao, I will directly promote him to deputy captain. Yes, Captain, I will arrange it now. Lao Xiao also wanted to be the deputy captain, but Lao Xiao was also a landlubber and could not swim at all. Captain, 10 of these people grew up by the sea, and they are all good at swimming. They want to help the captain go to the sea to look for him. Yes. Xiao Yao walked to the side of the 10 people. Xiao would like to thank you all here, regardless of whether you find Deputy Captain Xiao Yao in the sea. You can all be directly upgraded to formal members of our Qingshan team, and each of you will be given 1,000 bottles of mineral water. If anyone finds Deputy Captain Xiao Yao, he will be directly promoted to Deputy Captain of Qingshan and given 10 million copper coins. I know that many people may not know what copper coins are for. To me, copper coins represent resources, and you will know it later. By the way, there are only 2 formal members of Qingshan at present, me and Deputy Captain Xiao Yao. The conditions for upgrading to a formal team member are very difficult. I hope you can seize the opportunity. At this time, Lao Xiao also added that there were only himself and Deputy Captain Xiao Yao as formal team members. Deputy Captain Xiao Yao was missing, and Lao Xiao was the only formal team member in the team. Captain Xiao Yao, we will do our best to help find Xiao Yao. In that case, thank you very much. The rest of the people moved all the equipment from the sea rescue station on the shore. Those who did not go into the sea did logistical work, and those who went into the sea all took off their clothes except for their underpants. In the cold winter, several people were shivering with cold. Xiao Yao felt grateful in his heart. No matter what the result was, these people were worthy of being upgraded to become formal team members. There must be more people who can swim among the others, but Xiao Yao admired their perseverance for being brave enough to take off their clothes except for their underpants in the winter. Plop. Plop. All 10 people jumped directly into the sea, and soon they were diving into the seawater, searching for Xiao Yao's trace on the seabed. Normally, there would be waves in the seawater regardless of whether there is wind or not. However, Xiao Yao suddenly felt that the sea seemed different from what he had seen before. Why was the sea as calm as a bay of stagnant water? Help! Suddenly, a person on the distant beach was shouting for help, and then several people appeared and also shouted for help, as if people who could not swim were drowning. Help! Xiao Yao shouted hurriedly. Then the remaining people in the sea swam desperately to the shore. Ah! Ah! The person who shouted for help sank below the sea surface in a short while. Xiao Yao could not help but shudder at the strange scene. Xiao Yao was very powerful, but he could not swim. It was a problem to survive in the water, let alone kill monsters. At this time, 4 people ran back from the sea, but the rest never came back, and the sea fell into calm. Captain, I won't go there even if you kill me. The sea is too scary. Captain, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a formal team member anymore. I don't want to go to the sea again. I'm the one who should say sorry. I shouldn't have let you go to the sea. I killed them. You don't have to go to the sea anymore. Now you are all formal team members of Qingshan. Come out. Come to the shore if you can, and we'll fight to the death. Xiao Yao roared at the sea again. But the sea was as calm as a mirror. Xiao Yao knew that there must be some creature on the seabed, and it must be it that took Xiao Yao away. However, he had no way to settle the score with it. He was a landlubber and would die if he went into the water. Captain, what should we do? Are we still going to look for it? Go back, let me be alone here and calm down. Chapter 478 How far can the naked eye see? Xiao Yao's disappearance made Xiao Yao feel very heavy for a while. Go back, let me be alone. Xiao Yao said to Lao Xiao and the others around him. Yes, Captain. Lao Xiao waved to the rest of the people, and everyone rushed back directly. Just now, in order to find Xiao Yao, 6 teammates sank to the bottom of the sea, which made them feel very heavy. Xiao Yao sat on the beach, looking at the calm seawater without a word. There was another person next to him, that was Bian Lahu. You should go back too. I also want to see the sea. I was afraid to be alone before, but now you are here, I can take this opportunity to see the sea. Whatever you say. Xiao Yao didn't want to continue discussing this issue with Bian Lihu. Xiao Yao looked into the distance. The sea was calm. In the distance, he could see a small island on the other side of the sea. What island is that? Peach Blossom Island. Are there peach blossoms on it? I don't know, I haven't been there either. Do you have any wine? How did you know I had wine? I guessed. Do you have a dog's nose? I smelled it when you were giving me artificial respiration. Here. Bian Lihu took out a small pocket iron kettle from her pocket. Xiao Yao took a sip. The wine didn't irritate his throat that much, but it had a fragrance and sweetness in it. The alcohol content of the wine was not high, a bit like a drink. Xiao Yao looked into the distance, feeling uncertain. Xiao's words appeared in his mind again. Do you feel like you are being controlled by someone, or do you feel like you are being monitored? At this moment, Xiao Yao suddenly had this feeling. Was there someone deliberately controlling his life, and Xiao might have been taken away by him? Xiao Yao looked at the sky, which was blue as if it were fake. Xiao Yao looked far away and could see that many planes were still hovering over Xiaoyang city, densely packed like some mosquitoes. Are they monitoring the entire Xiaoyang city? Xiao Yao had an unverifiable guess in his heart. How far can our naked eyes see at most? Xiao Yao asked inexplicably, not knowing whether he was asking himself or Bian Lihu next to him. 10 kilometers? 50 kilometers? Then how far do you think the clouds in the sky are from us? How far is the sun from us? Even how far are the countless stars in the sky from us? This. Bian Lihu suddenly didn't know how to answer Xiao Yao. Yes, the distance that the naked eye can see is only a few dozen kilometers. The sun is 150 million kilometers away from us, but our naked eyes can still see the sun, which seems to be completely illogical. What is the farthest distance that the naked eye can see has become a mystery. Let's go. Go back. Xiao Yao stood up directly, patted his butt and turned to leave the beach, without any intention of continuing to look at the calm sea. Xiao Yao's mind once again recalled another sentence from Xiao. Do you still think that death is an end? Death is not an end, but it exists in another form, either as zombies, river corpses, or some other race. Birth, aging, illness, and death are the life course of each person, and there is no point in lamenting too much. Looking at the long river of history, the life and death of an individual is just a blink of an eye. The most important thing is to do what you want to do and do meaningful things in this limited life. In this way, when you leave one day, you will not regret it, and you will not regret that you have not done what you should do. Wait for me. Bian Lihu desperately chased after Xiao Yao, but Xiao Yao walked very fast. Xiao Yao checked the survival log and it had been updated. But I don't know whether this survival log was intentional or unintentional, and there was no record of Xiao Yu at all. In other words, the idea of using the survival log to check Xiao Yu's whereabouts may be ruined. Since the survival log is part of the system, it will definitely not give me the ability to predict the future. Predicting the future is against the will of heaven. Zeman Duixu was killed because he just awakened the ability to predict the future. Therefore, before you have the ability to predict the future, you should not try to go against the will of heaven. Xiao Yao did not ask whether Zeman Duixu was sent by the system to kill him. He did not want to ask, nor did he want to know, just like what the woman in white who kidnapped Yi Xinru said. Your strength is too weak. What's the use of knowing it? Although he is now at the 15th level of the second stage, this strength is still not enough in front of people with higher strength. Xiao Yao returned to the homestay with an expressionless face. Everyone gathered together at this time. The courtyard, which was originally a bit noisy, suddenly became silent after Xiao Yao walked in. Captain. Lao Shao walked up and greeted Xiao Yao. The other new team members, seeing Xiao Yao's face, did not even have the courage to say hello. Have you packed everything? Captain, everything is packed. Then set off immediately and make sure to reach Longman Mountain before night. Yes, Captain. Are we leaving? Bian Lihu asked at the side. Yes, let's go now. We agreed to leave in an hour, but now we have been delayed for 3 hours. If we don't leave, we will have to stay here overnight. Then I wish you a safe journey. Thank you. Xiao Yao went straight into the house. Xiao was still diligently looking after her equipment. You're back. Well, thank you for helping me look after these equipment. I'm going to Longman Mountain. Will you stay here or come with me? Of course I'll go with you. Although there are many people here, no one can give people a sense of security. I didn't seize the opportunity before. Now I've finally found you, and I can't let you slip away again. When you were in the supermarket, you knew that the book was about me. Why didn't you follow me at that time? Frankly speaking, you had a hard time protecting yourself at that time. Why should I follow you? You might die accidentally. Isn't it the same now? The people who followed me said that they would die anyway. It's different now. Now you have grown up. Although there will be many dangers if you follow you, the most dangerous place is also the safest place. As for whether you will die or not, it depends on your own fate. Okay, pack up and set off immediately. Are you not looking for Xiao Yao anymore? You know everything. They told me everything. No, I've already looked for him. I've looked in all the places I should look for. There's no point in staying here now. I can only wait for the book to be updated to see where Xiao Yao is. But even if we know by then, it will be too late for us to come back. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 479 Leaving. After searching everywhere, Xiao Yao still couldn't find Xiao Yao. It was as if Xiao Yao had disappeared from the face of the earth. The only place that he hadn't searched was the sea, but who had the ability to go to the sea to look for someone? Even if he was as powerful as the peak of the second level, he still had no way to deal with the ocean. Maybe, I am a star of destiny. No one around me has a good ending. Xiao Yao is like this, and so is Yizhenru. Xiao Yao looked up at the window. Yizhenru had been missing for a long time, but he had never had the courage to go to Tank Mountain in Zichen to find her. There are still 4 days before the nuclear bomb is launched. In 4 days, can he find Yizhenru's whereabouts? It seems a bit difficult. Alice. Xiao Yao sighed deeply. Let's go. We can't be indecisive anymore. Send old Wu to the military affairs department and set off home immediately. No matter what, we can't miss my parents this time. Okay, actually I'm also curious about what is hidden in the tomb under the mountain keeper's courtyard. Xiao Yao collected his belongings in the room and took Lu Xiao out of the room. Lord Xiao Yao, are you leaving? Huabashi also came forward at this time. In order to take control of the Donghu town with the help of Xiao Yao's ability, Huabashi led his team to live in the yard next to Xiao Yao. Originally, Huabashi wanted to take control of the Donghu town with the help of Xiao Yao's power. However, the disappearance of Xiao Yao made Xiao Yao very upset, and Huabashi didn't know how to start for a while. There are many indigenous people in Donghu town, and Huabashi has to rely on his meager strength to control Donghu town. Maybe, he can't take over this town for a while. Well, it has delayed a lot of time, and my parents are still waiting for me at home. Then Lord Xiao Yao, I won't bother you anymore, I wish you a safe journey. Xiao Yao bought an ordinary ancient god armor from the mall and handed it to Huabashi. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry that I don't have time to help you. This is a piece of armor. It's my way of thanking you for your help. I wish you a bright future in the future. Master Xiao Yao, I know that everything you make must be excellent. I won't be polite. Well, you deserve it, but it takes a lot of strength to wear this armor. If you can't wear it, you have to practice more. Xiao Yao didn't want to owe anyone anything. He promised to help Huabashi do something. Since he didn't have time to help, he could only give him a piece of armor. This armor can save his life. As for whether Huabashi can reach the strength requirement of 500, Xiao Yao believes that as a captain, it should not be difficult for Huabashi to reach a strength of 500. What happens next depends on his luck. Xiao Yao glanced at Bian Lihu, who was still standing in the distance and looking at this side, and Bian Lihu also smiled in return. Xiao Yao thought about it and bought another ancient god armor. He walked to Bian Lihu with the armor. This is for you, as a thank you for saving my life. Xiao Yao was saved by Bian Lihu when he was drowning. This ancient god armor requires strength. However, Bian Lihu is a berserker, and her main attribute must be strength. Even if the people in the entire Donghu town cannot equip it, Bian Lihu should be able to equip it. Thank you, I'll be polite then. Bian Lihu took Xiao Yao's armor and took out a copper ring from her belt. This is my return gift. I don't have any valuables. This ring is one of my personal belongings. I hope you don't mind. How could that be? Thank you for your gift. I like it very much. Reconnaissance, brilliant bronze ring, plus 500 HP, plus 5 HP regen, durability 1234, 2234. It turned out to be a small top-grade item that increases a small amount of HP and HP regen. Xiao Yao didn't hesitate and kept it. He didn't need it himself, but it would be great for his parents. After bidding farewell to everyone, Xiao Yao left the courtyard. Master Xiao Yao, wait a minute. At this time, Huabashi ran over breathlessly. Lao Hui, what's wrong? Why are you running like this? I see that your team has quite a lot of people, and it's inconvenient to walk along the way, so I'll give you my school bus as a return gift for the armor that Lord Xiao Yao gave me. That's not good, don't you need it? If nothing unexpected happens, we won't leave Donghu town, and the school bus won't be needed for a while, so I'll give it to Lord Xiao Yao. Then I won't be polite either. It saves me from having to look for a car. Lord Xiao Yao, come back more often when you have time. This will always be your home. I will. Lao Sha, tell everyone to get on the school bus next to you. Yes, Captain. The group got on the school bus directly, and an older uncle in the team volunteered to drive the school bus. He used to drive a bus, so driving a school bus is more than enough, so he can make the best use of it. Xiao Yao did not hide anything and directly summoned the armored personnel carrier. There were originally two, but now there is only one. Xiao Yao wanted to add some oil to the armored personnel carrier from Huobashi's tanker. However, the tanker is loaded with gasoline, and the armored personnel carrier is loaded with diesel, so they are completely incompatible. He can only give up for the time being and think of a way when there is no oil on the road. Anyway, there should be no shortage of cars on the road. After saying goodbye to everyone, Xiao Yao got on the armored personnel carrier directly. Since no one knew how to drive, Xiao Yao drove it himself. There were Lao Sha, Xiao Yu, Ren Fixu, Lu Xiao, and himself in the car. Lao Wu was on the school bus with a walkie-talkie, responsible for contacting Xiao Yao at any time on the road. Xiao Yao originally wanted Lao Sha to be in charge of liaison on the school bus, but the armored personnel carrier was short of a driver, and Xiao Yao planned to train Lao Sha to be an armored personnel carrier driver. Xiao Yao left directly through the north gate of Donghu town. What surprised Xiao Yao was that Mayor Qin Haoshan did not come to see him off. None of those who had not passed the team test came to see him off. Forget it, why do you care about these? Xiao Yao did not care too much. If he did not come, he would not have to give gifts. After all, he was embarrassed to have taken away many young and strong survivors from Donghu town. Xiao Yao drove the armored personnel carrier directly to the north, and soon drove to coastal highway. Lao Sha, you come. Captain, I don't know how to drive. I'll teach you, otherwise I, as a captain, will always be your driver. How can you bear it? Well, Captain, tell me what these buttons do first. Xiao Yao drove the armored personnel carrier and explained to Lao Sha, while Lao Sha sat in the passenger seat, absorbing Xiao Yao's explanation attentively like an obedient elementary school student. About half an hour later, Xiao Yao said, "How is it? Are you familiar with it?" "Almost, Captain." "Okay, notify them to take a break at the gas station ahead and fill up the gas. You will drive the next leg." Chapter 480 Sharp Brother. The convoy drove to a gas station, and Xiao Yao decided to take a break. After all, the armored personnel carrier should not have much fuel, so it must be refilled. Lao Sha picked up the walkie-talkie and said, "Uncle Wu, we're taking a break at the gas station ahead. Tell the driver." "Got it." Lao Wu responded from the walkie-talkie, and then Lao Wu notified the driver on the school bus to stop at the gas station ahead. The convoy stopped next to the gas station's refueling pile, but the power was out, and the refueling pile was probably unusable, so it had to be manually refueled. "Lao Sha, you are responsible for vigilance, and fill up the car with gas by the way. I'll go check the situation." "Yes, Captain." Lao Sha got off the car, walked to the door of the school bus, found a few elves to surround the school bus and be on guard, and arranged a few people to refuel the vehicle. Xiao Yao went directly to the convenience store at the gas station. At this time, Xiao Yao was very alert. Although there were no zombies in this gas station, it was a bit too quiet. This is a gas station next to the highway. Although it is not a downtown area, there are many passing vehicles. This gas station was not only quiet, but also incredibly clean. Although there were bloodstains on the ground, there were no bodies. In other words, there were survivors here, and the bodies were cleaned up by the survivors. Squeak. The door was not locked. Xiao Yao gently pushed it open, but there was no one, not even a guard. Is anyone there? The situation of the convenience store was not very good. It was obvious that it had been raided. The shelves were empty, as if new. Not only was there no figure, there was not even a body. Xiao Yao slowly walked to the bar. There was a pack of cigarettes left on the cabinet on the wall behind the bar. Although Xiao Yao rarely smoked, it was undeniable that these things were the best things for people to kill boring time. Xiao Yao went around the bar and went inside to take the pack of cigarettes on the cabinet. If I were you, I wouldn't take that pack of cigarettes casually. The sudden voice startled Xiao Yao, and Xiao Yao's hair stood up. Xiao Yao looked in the direction of the voice and saw a person curled up under the bar. Reconnaissance? Question mark, question mark? Are you a human or a ghost? Xiao Yao clearly felt that his voice was trembling. The other party's information was a question mark, but Xiao Yao did not think that the other party was 50 levels higher than him. This person must have a mission, but with an unknown target and no idea of who is the enemy, Xiao Yao still cautiously withdrew from the bar. Whether it is a human or a ghost, what difference does it make? They are just suffering creatures. The man slowly crawled out from under the bar, walked out of the bar, patted the dust on his body, and stared at Xiao Yao in front of him. Xiao Yao was also looking at this sharp guy in front of him. The man's hair was messy and his face was pitch black, as if he had rolled in the soil several times. He was wearing a green military coat, but the military coat was torn and the cotton inside was exposed in many places. The cotton had also turned gray, and he was wearing a pair of worn-out shoes on his feet, and the exposed toes were opening and closing. It was like breathing air, and at first glance, he was a beggar who had been begging for a long time. Are you the manager of this gas station? Brains are good things, but unfortunately you don't have them. Look at me dressed like a gas station manager. Then why do you care so much about me? Why didn't you let me take that pack of cigarettes just now? Because that pack of cigarettes is mine, so you can't take it. What if I insist on taking it? Then, you may be in danger of your life. Arrogant, but I'm not a person who robs people by force. Tell me, what wish do you have that I need to help you realize? Since the other party is the task character, Xiao Yao is too lazy to let the other party take the initiative to issue the task, and directly asks about the task. My wish? Boy, you still say I'm arrogant. You are the most arrogant person I have ever seen. I don't have time to waste here with you. Tell me, what wish do you have? Within my ability, I will definitely help you realize it. Haha, arrogant boy, I'm afraid you are not qualified to fulfill my wish for me. Why, do you look down on me? Forgive my poor eyesight, what else do you have besides being a little fat? Why don't you show me your skills, and then I will decide whether to let you help me realize my wish. Watch it. Xiao Yao directly activated the awakening skill, just a spurning flame. Xiao Yao, who is on fire, was like a hellfire spirit. Ha! Xiao Yao punched the ground directly. Bang! With a loud bang, Xiao Yao's fists directly hammered a big hole in the ground of the convenience store, like a small grenade explosion. After doing all this, Xiao Yao directly dispersed his power and returned to his original appearance. How about it? Now, can I make your wish come true? It's interesting, a flame-mad warrior? But this is far from enough. Far from enough? You old man, tell me what your wish is, and I will definitely help you realize it. Arrogant boy, since you are so persistent, then I will tell you my wish. I want to overthrow Longman Mountain and turn the entire Longman Mountain into a vast sea. Can you do it? System, random task, overthrow Longman Mountain and turn this mountain into a vast sea, task reward is none. Fuck, you old man are kidding me. Xiao Yao didn't expect that this old man actually gave him a task, and it was an impossible task. He actually asked me to turn Longman Mountain into the sea. This is not how you going move the mountain. What's more, this old man didn't even want to give me a reward. What a joke. Haha, if you don't have that ability, don't make such a boast. It's not impossible to overthrow Longman Mountain, but you have to pay a reward that is equivalent to it, right? Reward. Yes, of course you need a reward to fulfill your wish. Reward? When you overthrow Longman Mountain, the reward will naturally appear. Damn, I don't have time to deal with you, a god soldier. Go wherever you want. Xiao Yao was too lazy to waste time with the sharp brother of the god soldier, and turned around and left the convenience store. Since there's a god soldier here, it's fair to talk. Because the race of the god soldiers is not afraid of the doomsday virus at all. Although they are human beings, they live in harmony with the undead race. It's simply unreasonable. Xiao Yao left with a curse. But the sharp brother in the convenience store looked at Xiao Yao's back and showed a playful smile. A little fellow at the peak of the second stage? Quite interesting. Chapter 481, We part today. I don't know when we will meet again. Xiao Yao wanted to meet the survivors at the gas station, but he didn't expect that there was a jerk living inside. Xiao Yao was disappointed and left the convenience store directly. Then sharp brother glanced at the ground that Xiao Yao had just hammered, shook his head and went back to the bar counter. He curled up inside, took out a bottle of wine from the side, and began to drink by himself. When will this damn doomsday start? There are just some little zombies every day, and it's not fun to kill them. If the doomsday doesn't start, I won't wait here. Suddenly, the decadent sharp brother rolled out from under the bar counter, staring into the distance. His piercing eyes were completely different from before. Oh no. Sharp brother's whole body was like being struck by lightning. His hair stood up, and then he quickly ran to the back door of the convenience store and disappeared without a trace. Damn, I feel upset when I see these embarrassing soldiers now. It's these embarrassing soldiers who have to fight hard to survive in the doomsday. As for them, the doomsday has nothing to do with them. They just eat and drink for free every day. It's really annoying. Captain, how are you? It's safe. How about you? How is the search? Captain, there is a tanker over there. It's full and can be driven. There are several cars next to it. They don't look scrapped. I wonder if the captain needs to put them away. Put them away and keep them for use on the road. Is the armored vehicle full of diesel? It's full, and we also loaded dozens of barrels. Please check, Captain. Well, thank you for your hard work, Lao Shan. Now that you are doing things, I am less and less worried. From now on, you will be the deputy captain of Kingshan. When I am not around, you will be in charge of everything. Thank you for your cultivation, Captain. Alice, what a pity. If Zimanduixu were still alive, I would have 2 generals. Unfortunately, Xiaoxi died early. Captain, accept my condolences. I'm just sighing. In peacetime, death was a big deal. Now, people die every day, and everyone is used to seeing life and death. It seems that death is not a big deal. Maybe one day, I will follow in the footsteps of death. Captain, don't say such unlucky words. Death is not the end, but just another beginning. I'm already a little curious about the world after I die. Captain. Okay, no more talking. Maybe I'll be reborn as a pig in the next life. I can't die easily. Pack up and let's go. Yes, Captain. Wait, I'll go. Xiao Yao looked back at the convenience store. Although it was a convenience store, the shelves inside were as clean as if they had been washed. Xiao Yao walked straight back to the convenience store, took out some food and water and put them on the ground. Old man, I'll put some food and water down for you. If you're hungry, come out and eat by yourself. There was no response from the old man behind the bar. It seemed that the old man was probably asleep. Xiao Yao was too lazy to wake him up. He would definitely see it when he woke up. Xiao Yao returned to the armored personnel carrier, and at this time, Lao Xiao had already started to act as the driver. Behind the armored personnel carrier was the school bus, and behind the school bus was a tanker truck. Although this tanker truck was carrying gasoline, even if it could not be refilled, it would be a good choice to make gasoline incendiary bombs at that time. However, there was no way. Xiao Yao's backpack could not store this large tanker truck, so he could only pull it. The convoy set off again and drove towards Longmen Mountain. This gas station is also the closest gas station to Longmen Mountain. Further ahead is the Longmen Mountain Scenic Area. Although Longmen Mountain is the base of the Military Aircraft Department, the periphery of the Longmen Mountain Military Aircraft Department is the Longmen Mountain Scenic Area, and only above the halfway point is the base of the Military Aircraft Department. Squeak. The armored personnel carrier stopped next to a sentry post. In front was the entrance to the Longmen Mountain Scenic Area, but at this time, there were several soldiers in military uniforms guarding the entrance. And the intersection was also blocked by various obstacles like barricades. Stop. A soldier in front gestured to the armored personnel carrier to stop. Hello, We are going to the Military Affairs Department of Longman Mountain. Which unit of the Military Affairs Department are you from? We are not a unit of the Military Affairs Department. We are looking for someone. Looking for someone? Who? This armored personnel carrier belongs to our Military Affairs Department. How did it end up in your hands? It's a long story. When I found this armored personnel carrier, there was no one in the car, so I drove it directly. Let's not talk about this first. Who are you looking for? Old Wu, come here. Xiao Yao said directly to the intercom. After a while, Old Wu ran over. Hello, Comrade Military Affairs, I am here to look for Captain Su Wanfu. I hope Comrade Military Affairs can be flexible. Are you here to see Captain Su Wan? Do you have your ID? I'm Captain Su Wan's classmate, and I've come here to seek refuge with him. Then come in, wait in the guard room first, I'll report to my superiors. Okay, thank you for your trouble, Comrade Junji. Come on, Xiao Yao, come with me to the guard room to sit down. Xiao Yao had just taken a step when he was stopped by the soldier in front of him who was armed with a gun. I'm sorry, only this comrade can go to the guard room, the rest of you please go to the survivor base west of Longman Mountain. Longman Mountain Scenic Area has been listed as a restricted area, and outsiders are not allowed to enter. Xiao Yao was not a person who cared about face, but this really made him a little embarrassed. He was a new human at the peak of the second level, but he was actually turned away by a gatekeeper. Xiao Yao, why don't I wait outside too? Old Wu, it seems that since I promised to send you back to the Military Affairs Department of Longman Mountain, I'm afraid I can only send you here. I can't even get through this door, I don't know if this counts as completing the mission. Yes, of course it counts. Xiao Yao, I am very grateful that you sent me all the way back to the Military Affairs Department of Longman Mountain. To be honest, I have seen your growth along the way. From being ignorant at the beginning to being able to take charge of things on your own now. It can be said that I have witnessed your growth step by step. To be honest, I didn't have any hope at the beginning, I just wanted to survive. Unexpectedly, you actually did it. Xiao Yao, please accept my thanks. After Old Wu finished speaking, he bowed deeply to Xiao Yao. Old Wu, please don't do that. You are embarrassing me. Please stand up quickly. Xiao Yao, you deserve my bow. After all, it is a rare thing to stick to your beliefs and promises after the end of the world. Come in, Captain Su Wanfu is kind. At this time, the alert soldier waved to Old Wu and motioned him to come over. Xiao Yao, wait for me to talk to Captain Su Wanfu and let you come in too. No, Old Wu, time is tight, I have to hurry home. I am relieved to see you return to the Military Affairs Department of Longman Mountain. I won't disturb you old classmates to reminisce about the past. How can I do that? At least a cup of tea will do. No, if I have the chance, I will come again. By then, maybe I can't enter this door, and I will have to rely on you, Old Wu, to let me in. Okay, then, I wish you a safe journey. See you later. See you later. Old Wu held Xiao Yao's hands tightly. After parting today, I don't know when they will meet again. Chapter 482, Level 3, Level 2. After many hardships, Xiao Yao finally sent Old Wu to Longman Mountain. However, the guards at the gate did not let Xiao Yao enter the Longman Mountain Scenic Area. Xiao Yao had no choice but to give up and say goodbye to Old Wu at the gate. Old Wu, go in. I'll be relieved when I see you go in. Xiao Yao did not leave at this time, because the prompt of mission completion had not been received. It seems that the mission must be completed after Old Wu enters the Longman Mountain Military Affairs Department. Well, then I'll go in first. Maybe Old Su also wants to see you, an excellent young man. Go quickly, don't let your old friend wait anxiously. Old Wu followed the guard who delivered the message and went in. After a while, the prompt of mission success also appeared. System, random task, completed, escort Wu Yachang to the Longman Mountain Military Affairs Department, reward level increased by 2, 1 doomsday virus vaccine, mission period of 1 month, mission failure level downgraded by 5 levels. System, level increase, current level 3 level 1. System, level increase, current level 3 level 2. System, Ren doomsday virus vaccine +1. Xiao Yao's mouth corners slightly raised. He didn't expect that the bottleneck that hindered his rank upgrade would be broken in such a wonderful way. What about the target above level 3 that was agreed to be killed? This upgrade came too smoothly. However, the task of escorting Lao Wu took 11 days. There were almost no teammates left from the beginning. Lao Wu was lucky to survive until now. It can be said that although Lao Wu is not his teammate now, he is almost half a teammate. Seeing that the task was completed, Xiao Yao did not wait any longer and turned to leave. "Comrade, please wait a moment. What's wrong? Is there anything else? Does your leader want to invite me in for tea?" "Comrade, the armored personnel carrier you are driving belongs to our long-mentioned military aircraft department. So, you may not be able to drive away." "Haha, what a joke. I want to drive away. Let's see who dares to stop me." Swish. The 4 sentinels raised their military machine guns directly at Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao sneered in his heart at this time. These people would point their guns at unarmed civilians. If they have the ability, why don't they kill zombies and save civilians? Lao Shat also got off the armored personnel carrier directly, pointing his military pistol directly at the 4 guards on the opposite side. He did not show any fear of fighting with a pistol against a machine gun. Don't forget that Lao Shat is also a new human. What should we do? The captain is fighting with the people from the military department. Go, get off, and calm down for the captain. More than 20 people suddenly got off the school bus. At this time, none of them had been equipped with weapons by Xiao Yao. But they all stood directly behind Xiao Yao, glaring at the 4 armed guards on the opposite side. The captain killed tens of thousands of zombies with his own strength, and he was definitely the best among the new humans. Such a werewolf is worth following. Xiao Yao glanced at the people behind him, and these teammates were not recruited in vain. It was this attitude of sharing the same hatred and the same enemy that directly won Xiao Yao's recognition. Seeing that his teammates were all empty-handed and roaming for him, Xiao Yao felt warm in his heart. Now that the matter is settled, they must all be armed. Power comes from the barrel of a gun. You can't kill people by just staring at them. Why, do you want to rebel? The guards panicked when they saw so many survivors. They couldn't just kill so many survivors. They pointed their guns at Xiao Yao just to force him to leave the armored personnel carrier behind. "You, hurry up and inform the guards that someone wants to rebel." "Yes." A man next to him ran back quickly, apparently to inform the guards. "Rebellion? Who are you rebelling against? Who is leading the entire Xiaoyang city now? Is it you? Or you?" The armored personnel carrier is the property of the long-mentioned military affairs department. It's only natural that we want to come back. At this time, a team of fully armed guards trotted over here, all with live ammunition. Looking around, there were more than 50 people. "Catch them all." The leader ran over and waved his hand, commanding the guards to take Xiao Yao and others down. "Let's see who dares." Xiao Yao stood in front of his teammates and took a step forward. With a defense of nearly 4,000, even if all the opponents came together, they could not break his defense. This was Xiao Yao's confidence. "Today, I will drive this armored personnel carrier. Whoever dares to stop me will die." Xiao Yao glared at the opposite side. More than 50 people pointed guns at Xiao Yao, but Xiao Yao was calm and not afraid at all. "Lao Sha, you take everyone away from here and head to our destination. I will be there soon." "But, Captain, this is an order. I can't do anything with you here." "Yes, Captain. Everyone get in the car." More than 20 unarmed survivors glared at the more than 50 fully armed guards on the opposite side without any stage fright. "Don't even think about leaving. Take them all down." Swish. At this time, Xiao Yao was too lazy to hide his incompetence and directly took out a 3-meter-long giant sword of the ancient god. The giant sword directly crossed the guards on the opposite side and our teammates, forming a barrier. "You go first, don't worry about me." "Yes, Captain." Seeing the time Xiao Yao bought for them to get on the bus, everyone got on the school bus quickly. The school bus started and turned around and left. The driver of the tanker also turned around and drove away behind the school bus. The guards with guns did not shoot. At this time, they were shocked by the 3-meter-long giant sword that Xiao Yao suddenly took out. Where did he take it out from? Is it a storage ring? Exclamation mark. Xiao Yao's teammates left, and Xiao Yao breathed a sigh of relief at this time. As long as his teammates were not here, everything would be fine. As long as these people don't fire missiles at him, it won't be a big problem. "Excuse me, is this sir a new human? You are not completely blind?" "Yes. Pardon my intrusion. If you had told me earlier that you were a new human, we wouldn't be so tense. The Military Affairs Department is now recruiting new humans. If you are willing to join the long-mentioned Military Affairs Department, I think that not only this armored personnel carrier, but also a tank will be allocated to you by the Military Affairs Department. Then the leader said to the guards next to him, "Point your guns down, don't point them at the new human, sir." Everyone pointed their guns down and no longer pointed them at Xiao Yao. "No need, I'm used to being lazy and don't want to join the army. Sir, it's the end of the world. Only by joining the army can we eliminate the zombies and clear the world. I can also eliminate the zombies without joining the army." Chapter 483, Outsiders, Outsiders. Seeing that Xiao Yao was a new human, the captain of the outpost took a 180-degree turn. He even wanted to recruit Xiao Yao to join the long-mentioned Military Affairs Department. A real man should make great achievements and create immortal achievements. "Don't say it," I said. "I am a lazy person. I can't stand the rules and regulations of the Military Affairs Department." I picked up this armored personnel carrier on the road. The so-called doomsday is rampant. Whoever picks it up owns it. Whoever wants to grab it must ask if the giant sword of the ancient god in my hand agrees or not. Your Excellency said that since Your Excellency likes it, this armored personnel carrier will be given to you. Our long-mentioned Military Affairs Department will not take it back, and I hope Your Excellency will accept it. No, no, no. I picked up this armored personnel carrier myself. It was not given by you. If you want to give it, how about giving me a tank? This. The leading captain was speechless for a moment. He had no right to give away another tank. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. My parents are waiting for me to cook at home. Sir, if you want to join the army one day, come to me and I'll introduce you to our Lord. We'll talk about it then. I'll drive this armored personnel carrier away. Sir, please. The leading captain gestured with one hand, and everyone put down their guns. Xiao Yao put away the 3-meter-long giant sword of the ancient god in front of them. Although the attack power of this giant sword of the ancient god is not high, it is still very scary. After all, the 3-meter-long giant sword, just the shape of it scared them. Xiao Yao got on the armored personnel carrier directly, started the vehicle directly, and did a beautiful tailspin. The black smoke coming out of the rear of the car was like a black wave, which directly threw these soldiers' faces with black smoke. The armored personnel carrier was like a toy in Xiao Yao's hands. Xiao Yao's skills in driving the armored personnel carrier had long reached the proficient level, and playing a trick was a piece of cake. Cough, cough, cough. The people behind him coughed due to the black smoke. Captain, are we just going to let them go? What else? Do you think we can keep him? That's impossible. No matter how strong the new human is, can he escape from the machine guns of 50 of us? Xiao, it's the end of the world now. Don't take anything for granted. We ordinary soldiers can deal with ordinary survivors. But once we face the new humans, we will be out of luck. Have you forgotten those people in our military affairs department? Bullets have no effect on them. Even if 100 people shoot at them, it will be useless. But, Captain, this person may not have awakened to defense. Don't underestimate any new human. This is not the territory of the long-mentioned military affairs department. This is a scenic spot. We are cannon fodder at most. If we don't cherish our lives, who else will cherish our lives? Yes, Captain. I know you may not accept it. But don't you want to be a new human? Although this doomsday is a disaster, it is also an opportunity. Only by seizing opportunities can we survive better, and the premise of seizing opportunities is that we must survive. I understand. You guys continue to guard. Remember, don't be tough when you meet a new human. The new human today has a good temper. If we provoke a new human we shouldn't provoke one day. One skill can kill us in seconds. Do you understand? I understand. Well, continue to be alert. I'll report to the superiors. The leader left, and the remaining team members left a few people to be on guard while the rest returned to the team. Captain, what a shame, 50 people against one person, and we still gave in. It's so fucking frustrating. That's right, I've never seen such a cowardly captain. Ever since our original captain died, the new captain is simply a coward. I can't stand being treated like a grandson every day. I can't stand it either. How about we petition our superiors to change your captain? Why change? I think you are a good deputy captain. After the original captain died, we have been taking care of our team without a captain. It's the same with or without him. That's right, you be the captain, we choose you. Thank you for your support, But I want to say that this is the military affairs department and we must obey orders. If we choose the captain ourselves, wouldn't it be the same as a rebellion? To put it more grandly, it's called an uprising. We are all soldiers and we just have to obey orders. This captain is a little cowardly, but the biggest advantage is that he can reduce our casualties to 0. Yet, he stays here all day, scares the weak when he sees them, and pretends to be a grandson when he sees the strong. The casualties must be 0. Okay, don't mention this anymore. It's not easy to be a captain. Maybe one day this captain will die and we can change him to a stronger captain. Let's go back and chat with the 5th girl. Hey, why are you chatting with the 5th girl? I heard that there is some fresh blood in the survivor base west of Longman Mountain. There may be a few beautiful girls. Really? Let's go and take a look. The soldiers who had just returned to the team turned around and headed west without even taking off their equipment. The captain who had just gone to report was now standing in a small pavilion with an unusually respectful posture. What? Did you have a conflict with Xiao Yao? Sir, according to reports, they seem to have driven an armored personnel carrier of our military department. Our people asked the other party to leave the vehicle, but the other party refused. Xiao Yao took out a 3-meter-long giant sword and placed it across the middle of the road. In order to avoid casualties, I have let Xiao Yao leave. Old Su, you must not be an enemy of Xiao Yao. Fortunately, you didn't fight with Xiao Yao, otherwise all 50 of you would have become corpses. Sir, I have been very careful. Even if the other party is a new human, it can't withstand the shooting of 50 of us. Shooting a hammer, Xiao Yao is a warrior new human, and ordinary bullets are just tickling him. Not long ago, Xiao Yao wiped out tens of thousands of zombies alone. How come 50 of you are more difficult to deal with than tens of thousands of zombies? Tens of thousands. This is impossible. How is it impossible? The person in front of me is my classmate and friend. How could he lie to me? Yes, I watched Xiao Yao grow up all the way. It might be difficult to deal with dozens of zombies in the past. Now, ordinary zombies are useless no matter how many come. It is only a matter of time before Xiao Yao kills them all. Impossible, even those in our military department can't do this. There are always people better than you, and there are always things better than you. Never let your own vision lose you. Go down. Although you didn't stop Xiao Yao, at least you didn't oppose him, so I won't punish you. Chapter 484 Lao Su's Concerns. Fortunately, there was no conflict with Xiao Yao, otherwise, there might not be a single guard left at these outposts. Thank you for your mercy, sir. Well, you have just landed at the outpost not long ago, so keep a tight control on the personnel. Tell me if you have any needs, and I will try my best to meet them. Remember, don't cause trouble, and stay calm when you encounter a situation, and wait for me to decide everything. Yes, sir. Go back and tidy up the outpost as soon as possible. I have prepared the primary gene evolution liquid for you a long time ago. When you have tidied up the outpost, I will reward you with a bottle. Yes, sir, I will not fail in my mission. Well, go. The two watched the visitor go away, and Lao Wu said to Lao Su. Lao Su, as a good friend, I want to ask something that I shouldn't ask. Lao Wu, if there is anything hidden between you and me, just ask whatever you want to say. Last time, the 5th team of the Wolf Fang dealt with Xiao Yao, was it you, Lao Su, who instructed it? Alice, the last time the 5th team of the Wolf Fang was dispatched to arrest Xiao Yao, I abstained from voting. Why? Was this voted through by the higher-ups? Storage ring, who wouldn't be jealous? Even I coveted it. However, I know that with my current strength, I can't keep a storage ring of Xiao Yao's level. But they are different. In order to get Xiao Yao's storage ring, it is completely worth it even if I offend a new human. But last time, not only did I not get the storage ring, but I also planted a seed of hatred in Xiao Yao's heart. There are too few people I can use. I can only barely protect myself now. I am also powerless for the position of Longman Mountain number 1. Especially with the sudden arrival of the Doomsday, there are even fewer people I can use. Now it's not about personal strength, but how many new humans I have. Even if there are too many soldiers, there is no shock at all. I followed Xiao Yao for nearly half a month, and I also learned about this person. Xiao Yao was a person who was right and evil. It shows that there are emotional people under this person. Even if there is no deep friendship with Xiao Yao, as long as we do not deal with him, he will not actively deal with us. Even if you, Old Wu, have a friendship with Xiao Yao, but when he comes, it is inevitable that he will have complaints against the entire long-mentioned military affairs department. How can you guarantee that he will not deal with me? After all, the Wolfang Team 5 went to catch him, and I am also responsible for this. Speaking of this, I have to ask you a question first. What question? Tell me. Is Lao Kei's illegitimate son in the long-mentioned military affairs department? Lao Kei's illegitimate son. Lao Kei's illegitimate son, who is also one of my men, went to the long-mentioned military affairs department half a month ago. This, I really don't know, but even if Lao Kei's illegitimate son comes, what does it have to do with you? Do you want to switch sides? Lao Su, what are you thinking? Am I that kind of person? Let me tell you a secret. Xiao Yao has a feud with this Lao Kei's illegitimate son, and it might be the kind of feud that will never end. Are you serious? Absolutely true. Haha, God is helping me. With this relationship, Xiao Yao will definitely not join Lao Kei's camp. Lao Su, I advise you to give up this idea as soon as possible. Lao Wu, can you finish your words? Don't think that Xiao Yao can join our camp, as long as he doesn't deal with us. Lao Wu, you look down on our long-mentioned military affairs department a little too much? Even if Xiao Yao is a new human, there are many kinds of new humans. Our scientific research department has increased the success rate of the primary gene evolution fluid to 80%. I believe that it won't be long before the success rate of the primary gene evolution fluid will be increased to 100%. By then, it will be the time for all people to become new humans. Moreover, new weapons and equipment are also being updated. This is a qualitative leap. Even if Xiao Yao is the best among the new humans, can he deal with the new human team? Haha. Those who take medicine will never be as good as those who awaken on their own. Lao Su, remember this. Lao Wu, I'll tell you another secret, you can't tell it to anyone. Our scientific research department has already started to develop the intermediate gene evolution liquid. I believe that it will be successfully developed in a short time, and by then, a stronger new human will appear. Old Su, everyone will brag about their achievements, but don't easily exaggerate before any strength is achieved, otherwise, if you take a big step, it will be easy to make a fool of yourself. Go to hell, you old frivolous man. This Xiao Yao came to Longman Mountain before the intermediate gene evolution liquid was developed, and I could still take him in because of his strength. Once the intermediate gene evolution liquid is developed, Xiao Yao may not be worth seeing. This is why I didn't refuse the Wolfang Team 5 to capture Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao is still very strong now, but it doesn't mean he will always be strong. He alone definitely doesn't have as many resources as our entire base. Maybe he started high, but his evolution will definitely not be faster than ours. I'm too lazy to tell you, you stubborn guy, but as an old friend, I only give you one piece of advice, don't offend Xiao Yao easily before everything is decided. Of course, I still know how to protect myself. Let's not talk about this. By the way, where's your baby girl? Oh, speaking of this, I get angry. If she hadn't run away secretly, she wouldn't have encountered the doomsday, and she wouldn't have disappeared. What? The little girl is missing. The little girl ran away before the doomsday, but this was not the first time she ran away, and I didn't care. I arranged 2 guards to protect her secretly along the way. However, it has been so long since the doomsday, and she hasn't come back, and there has been no news from the 2 guards I arranged. Later, I sent some people out to look for my good-for-nothing girl, but there was no news from the people I sent out either. I guess, it's most likely. Old Su, don't guess blindly, the little girl is blessed by heaven, and she should be fine. Oh, I hope so, come and have some tea. Chapter 485 I'm back. In a pavilion, 2 old friends, Lao Su and Lao Wu, were chatting about what they had seen and heard after the apocalypse. Lao Su poured a cup of tea for Lao Wu. The 2 looked at the colorful scenery outside and fell into silence for a while. Alice, it's getting dark while we were talking. Lao Wu, let's go. It's time for dinner. I'll treat you to a meal to welcome you back. While we're walking, let me see how the food is at the long-mentioned military aircraft department. I guarantee it's the best food you've ever had, no doubt about it. Lao Su, when will you change your habit of bragging? How can I brag? What I said is the truth. Well, let's go. We can draw conclusions after we eat. Xiao Yao drove the armored personnel carrier all the way west to catch up. It took him more than 10 minutes to finally catch up with the school bus. The captain is back. Lao Sha kept an eye on the situation behind the car and had already noticed a car with its lights on behind it. At this time, only Captain Xiao Yao would catch up. As they got closer, Lao Sha found that it was the armored personnel carrier from before. Lao Sha asked the driver to stop the car. The school bus stopped, and Xiao Yao also drove the armored personnel carrier to the side. Xiao Yao did not get off the bus, but called Lao Sha directly on the intercom. Lao Sha, you guys get off. Yes, Captain. Lao Sha got off the school bus and changed positions with Xiao Yao again to become a full-time driver. The convoy started again, aiming directly at Qingshan. In order to get back to Qingshan as soon as possible, Xiao Yao did not stop the convoy even though it was dark now, and even accelerated the speed of the convoy, just to get home earlier. At this time, the convoy had already turned on the lights, because it was already dark for half a day, and in order to get home earlier, Xiao Yao chose to walk at night. Fortunately, the road from Longmen Mountain to Qingshan is a suburban highway. Both vehicles and zombies are very rare, which also allows Xiao Yao's convoy to travel very smoothly. Xiao Yao, who had nothing to do, began to check the survival log to see if there was any news about Xiao Yu. Xiao Yao, who was checking the survival log, found that the survival log had suddenly changed a lot. The content he had read before had not changed much, but there were a lot of garbled characters in the newly released chapters. Xiao Yao flipped through a few chapters and found that the garbled characters were not all there, but were random. No, not random. Xiao Yao checked carefully and found that the chapters with garbled characters were actually describing other people. In other words, now the survival log can only see some things that he has experienced. Things that he was not present for, and other people's experiences, have all become garbled characters. Sure enough, whether it is foretelling the future or predicting the future, it is not allowed by the system. Xiao Yao closed the survival log. Since the survival log only describes things that he was present for, then the survival log has no meaning. At most, it is a diary to record his own experiences. Xiao Yao, who has nothing to do, decided to equip these new teammates with some equipment. Just exquisite sports suits. 137,500 can buy a sports suit, which is considered the standard for trainee teammates. Xiao Yao directly purchased 20 sets. As for the 4 people who went to the sea to help him find Xiao Yu's trace, although they did not find Xiao Yu, they promised to upgrade them to formal team members, so they must do what they said. They are formal team members, and their equipment should be more advanced, that is, exquisite workwear sets with higher attributes. 197,500 copper coins are used to purchase a set, and Xiao Yao directly purchased 4 sets. Exquisite safety helmet, plus 187 attack, durability 1875, 1875 exquisite work jacket, plus 187 defense, durability 1875, 1875 exquisite overalls, plus 187 health, durability 1875, 1875 exquisite work shoes, plus 187 health, durability 1875, 1875 exquisite steel pipe, plus 187 attack, durability 1875, 1875 captain, there is no way ahead. What? Xiao Yao, who was purchasing equipment, suddenly heard Lao Sha's words. Then Xiao Yao found that he had arrived at the foot of Qingshan. However, there was no road ahead. The end of the road was blocked by a wire fence. Through the wire fence, you could see a long train parked on the opposite track. There was no light on the train, so it had probably been parked here for a long time. I didn't know if there were any survivors or zombies on the train. Oh, there's a high-speed railway here. You have to take the bridge in the north. It's just a few dozen meters to the north. Do you see it? Captain, I see it. Well, turn around, go a few dozen meters north from the road you just came from, then go west and take the new road. Yes, Captain. Xiao Yao directed the convoy to move forward again. They had already reached the foot of the Green Mountain, so home was not far away. Xiao Yao stopped purchasing equipment and looked at the mountain. The last time he accidentally caused a forest fire, the whole mountain was burned black. But now it is dark, and the whole mountain cannot be seen. It is estimated that it is already bare and black. The convoy drove to the newly built road, crossed a bridge across the high-speed railway, and drove directly to the winding mountain road. Home is in front. I don't know how my parents are doing. Xiao Yao's heart is also excited. After all, I have been away from my parents for a long time. Unconsciously, Xiao Yao's eyes are wet. Xiao Yao raised his head hard to prevent tears from flowing down. Men don't shed tears easily, but in the eyes of parents, no matter how old they are still children. Only in front of their parents can they be children without scruples. Dad, Mom, I'm back. Squeak. The convoy stopped in front of the courtyard of the Qingshan Guardian. Dad, Mom. Xiao Yao ran down from the armored personnel carrier and ran quickly into the yard. Although the book did not record the location of my parents, it did mention that my father had dug up 2 stone pillars next to the table and found that they were stone pillars. Great, my parents should have come out. Xiao Yao was happy because the food he had placed in the yard was now gone. On this mountain, no one else would find these foods except my parents. Dad, Mom. I'm back. But there was still no response. Xiao Yao directly turned on the system, backpack, and put all the bricks of the collapsed house into the backpack. This is the fastest way to clean up. Originally, he was afraid of seeing the bodies of my parents after cleaning them out, but now, Xiao Yao knew that they were still alive. Xiao Yao accelerated the speed of cleaning, and soon, the ruins of the front living room were cleared out. Then Xiao Yao found the place where the stone pillars were described in the book. The 2 stone pillars were still there, but there was a spiral staircase next to it. It seemed that my father had dug a spiral staircase specifically to dig down. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 486, Falling into the Deep Pit. In Qingshan Courtyard, Xiao Yao came to the bottom of the stairs through the spiral staircase. There may be no ladder, but in order to dig deep, his father dug out such a spiral staircase. This is similar to the game of Simulation World that Xiao Yao played before in peacetime. When there is no wooden ladder, it is a common way to dig holes. Unexpectedly, this method was also used by his father. It seems that his father must have secretly played Simulation World behind his back. However, at the bottom of the spiral staircase, Xiao Yao stopped. Because the bottom was actually suspended. Although Xiao Yao turned on the night vision function, the distance below seemed a bit high, and the night vision function could not see the appearance below clearly. Dad, Mom. Xiao Yao tried to shout at the bottom of the suspension, but there was no response from the dark pit, and there was only the echo of the voice he just shouted. Xiao Yao bought a bottle of mineral water and threw it directly below. Soon there was an echo. From the sound, the pit was not deep, but even if the night vision was turned on, it was impossible to see the situation below clearly. Xiao Yao flipped through his backpack, and it seemed that there was no flashlight inside, so he had to return to the ground again. At this time, everyone was cleaning up the courtyard. If nothing unexpected happened, this should be where they would settle down in the future. Captain, are we going to settle down here? At this time, Lao Sha stepped forward and asked. Although it seemed that this was originally a courtyard. However, it has collapsed and it is impossible to live here. Are we going to build a house here? No, we are just staying here temporarily. Does anyone have a flashlight? Captain, my flashlight has run out of power. Ask if anyone has a flashlight. I need to find a flashlight. Who has a flashlight? Everyone looked at each other, and then one of the little guys came out. I have one. At this time, Xiao Yao walked over directly. Lend it to me for a while, and I will return it to you later. Captain, just take it if you need it, and you don't have to return it. How can that be? This is your property, I will return it to you later. Xiao Yao turned and said to Lao Sha. Lao Sha, here are 20 sets of equipment for the trainees, and these 4 sets of equipment for the regular members. I have something else to do, so you can arrange it here. Yes, Captain. Captain Xiao Yao. At this time, Lu Xiao called Xiao Yao. What's wrong? Is there anything? I want to go down with you to take a look. Alright, come on. Xiao Yao turned on the flashlight and returned to the spiral staircase again, and Lu Xiao followed slowly behind him. When they reached the bottom of the spiral staircase, suddenly, the stairs that Xiao Yao and Lu Xiao were standing on collapsed directly, and the two fell directly down. Ah! Lu Xiao screamed around him, and then Lu Xiao tried to grab Xiao Yao's clothes, but Xiao Yao's armor had no place to start. Bang! Bang! It didn't take long for the two people to fall into the pit one after another, and Xiao Yao also fell directly on Xiao Yao. Ouch! Hiss. Xiao Yao was not injured because she fell on Xiao Yao, but Xiao Yao's armor was too hard, and Xiao Yao was hit hard. Just now, when falling, Xiao Yao threw the flashlight in his hand directly out, and it was shining on the side, and the light shone on the wall of a hall. It can be seen that this hall is very spacious, almost as big as a basketball court. Xiao, are you okay? I'm fine, your armor is so hard, it's killing me. Xiao climbed up from Xiao Yao, and then Xiao Yao also stood up and patted the dust on his body. Xiao Yao, who is already a third-level new human, didn't care about the fall at all. Xiao Yao picked up the flashlight next to him. Damn it! Xiao Yao found that the glass in front of this flashlight was broken. What should he do? He said that he would return it to him after using it, but it was broken. Although the glass was broken, fortunately this flashlight can still be used. At this time, the night vision function can see the surrounding situation. Xiao Yao handed the flashlight to Xiao. After all, she didn't have the night vision function. Here's the flashlight. Don't you need it? Why, did you forget? I have night vision. Oh, I almost forgot. Xiao took the flashlight and shone it around. This is the mausoleum. It's so big. Cough cough, cough cough. At this moment, a cough suddenly came from the quiet environment. Dad? Mom? Xiao Yao ran quickly in the direction of the sound. When he got closer, Xiao Yao found two green dots on the small map. Then Xiao Yao ran directly to the direction of the green dots. In the corner of the hall, there was a platform with two people leaning on it. Dad? Mom? Xiao also trotted up and shone the flashlight on the coughing people. Xiao Yao finally saw the two people in front of him. They were his parents who he had been thinking about day and night. Cough, cough. Is it Xiao Yao? Dad? Mom? Xiao Yao rushed over directly. At this time, his parents were already dying. The health value was almost invisible. Xiao Yao couldn't imagine what would happen if he came a little later. Dad was still awake, but Mom was already unconscious. Dad, hurry up, take this pill. Xiao Yao hurriedly took out a Yuho pill and put it to his father's mouth. Xiao Yao, give me some water. Yes, yes. Xiao Yao quickly bought a bottle of mineral water, unscrewed the cap and handed it to his father. Dad, drink some water. With an excited heart and trembling hands, Xiao Yao's vision was blurred. His parents were still alive, and nothing could make him happier than this. Maybe his father had been thirsty for a long time, so he drank a whole bottle of mineral water. Your mother has been unconscious for a long time. Go and have a look at her. If she hadn't been breathing, I would have thought she was dead. God is really not going to let me die. I was really afraid that I couldn't hold on for much longer. Fortunately, my son is back. Dad, don't talk about it. I'll save Mom first. Is there any water? Give me another bottle of water. Yes, yes, Dad, don't rush to drink water. Eat this pill first. Is this chocolate? This is not chocolate, it's a pill that can make people evolve into new humans. Xiao Yao, have you joined some organization? Don't be fooled. I've seen a lot of tricks like this. Dad, eat it quickly. I'm still saving Mom. Let's talk later. Oh, okay, I'll eat it. Miss Lu, come and help. Okay, Captain Xiao Yao. At this time, Xiao, who was standing next to him, came over. Mom's situation was not optimistic. Her health value was almost at the bottom. Xiao Yao didn't dare to move her easily. Chapter 487 Dad, light the lamp. Xiao Yao and Xiao accidentally fell into a deep pit, but unexpectedly found their parents. Dad is fine, but Mom's situation is not optimistic. Then Xiao Yao took out the shining bronze ring given by Bian Lahu, which can increase life recovery by 5, and his ordinary Yaoman badge, which can also increase life recovery by 5. Put them on Mom to restore her health first, otherwise, with Mom's blood skin, if she is not careful, Xiao Yao will regret it too late. Xiao Yao, how is it? Is your mom okay? Nothing serious, but now Mom can't stand too much movement. Put these two equipment on Mom first to restore her health. Wait until her health is restored, and then wake her up. Can this ring restore her health? Yes, it can be restored a little. And this badge can restore 10 health points in 1 minute. I can feed Mom some red ginseng soup in a while. By the way, Dad, did you take the pill? I took it, but I don't feel anything. Dad looked helpless. Xiao Yao tilted his head to look. Oh my god, Dad, aren't you already a new human? Xiao Yao was busy taking care of his mother just now, and didn't see what happened to his father after he ate the elixir. Xiao Yao turned around and found that his father was already level 1, a complete new human. Ah, already a new human? Why don't I feel anything? Yes, it's already a new human. Feel it and see what skill you have awakened. Then Dad closed his eyes and slowly felt it. After a while, Dad's whole body began to emit flames and his whole body was slowly growing until it grew to 3 meters tall and then slowly stopped. Fuck. Xiao Yao took a half step back. What skill did Dad awaken? Could it be the same skill as his own? However, why does Dad's awakening skill seem to be more awesome? Not only is his whole body surrounded by flames, his body has also become taller, but he doesn't have this treatment. Cool. Dad opened his eyes, and even his eyebrows were on fire. Dad, please keep your voice down. Mom is still unconscious. Oh, sorry, Xiao Yao, why did you become smaller? Hey, why did you all become smaller? Dad, you became bigger, okay? Dad, please dissipate your power first. Mom is very fragile. You are too harsh on her. Oh, okay. As Dad fiddled with it for a while, his body slowly returned to its original state. Dad, please feel the power after awakening first. I will wake Mom up. Then Xiao Yao squatted beside Mom and gently shook her shoulders. The 2 pieces of equipment that increased life recovery that were just put on Mom restored a lot of her life points. In this way, Xiao Yao dared to wake her up. Mom, wake up. After a while, Mom gradually woke up. Xiao Yao, is that you? Dad, are we dead? Why did I see our Xiao Yao? Mom, what nonsense are you talking about? Our son is back, and we are still dead. Not dead. Yet, he's not dead. God will not abandon us. Xiao Yao, let Mom see, it's really my Xiao Yao who is back. Mom, I'm back, I'm sorry, I came back a little late. Not late, not late. No, I came back a little late, you almost. Hey, we are still alive, what's more, we are at this age. Even if we die, it's not considered a premature death, there's no need to care too much. Mom, I don't allow you to say that, I want you to live 100 years, no, 1,000 years, 10,000 years, immortality, live forever. 100 years is enough. If you live to 1,000 or 10,000 years old, you will become an old bastard. Xiao Yao, stop talking, give your mom the chocolate just now, you will be 10 years younger if you eat it. Dad, are you senile? What chocolate? You can be 10 years younger if you eat it. Mom, drink some water first to moisten your throat. Okay. Then Xiao Yao fed his mother a bottle of mineral water and a moonlight pill. Captain Xiao Yao. At this time, a voice came from where Xiao Yao fell, and the light of a flashlight also shot in, sweeping back and forth. Captain Xiao Yao. I'm here. Great, Captain Xiao Yao, we will rescue you up right away. No need, I'll go up by myself later, you guys hurry up and leave there, otherwise there will be another landslide. Okay, Captain, then we'll go up first. Well, let everyone leave the yard to avoid a landslide. Yes. From the voice, it was Lao Sha's voice. Most likely, they had waited too long, so they came down to check the situation. Xiao, you stay here and help me watch my mom. I'm going to build a staircase to go up. Xiao Yao, do you need my help? I feel like I have endless energy now. Dad, you don't need to help me. Have you forgotten that I can use my phone to store and retrieve items? Oh, I forgot about that. Hey, Dad, but I have a favor to do. I really need your help. Oh, what favor? Tell me. I just have all the strength I need and I don't know where to use it. That's right, Dad, please activate your awakening skill again and help me with lighting. What? Lighting. Well, I see that Dad's awakening skill is to make his body bigger, plus flames all over his body. This is equivalent to a huge lantern, which can just illuminate this underground space. Fuck you, little bastard, you let your dad be your light bulb? Dad, just tell me, will you help or not? Help. Okay, Dad, light the lamp. The god of fire is coming. With a roar from Dad's body quickly grew larger, and flames surrounded his body again, just like a huge lantern. Little bastard, move quickly. Okay, Dad is worthy of being a dad. Even if he is a light bulb, he must be the brightest and biggest. Xiao Yao gave his father a thumbs up. Little bastard, hurry up, I can't hold on for a few minutes. Okay, then I'll move. Xiao Yao said nothing more. Awakening skills have time limits. Of course, in fact, this time limit is mostly due to the exhaustion of mental power. If the mental power is against the sky, or in other words, the recovery ability of mental power is enough to make up for the speed of consumption, then this awakening state can continue forever. However, Xiao Yao's awakening skills consume life by percentage, and I don't know what Dad's awakening skills consume. Xiao Yao took the time to turn around and take a look at his father's health value. It seems that his father's awakening does not consume health points, and his father's health points are still full. Since it does not consume health points, Xiao Yao is relieved. Chapter 488 Heading to Xiao Yao Village. The father who awakened a new human being had no place to use his strength. He did not expect that Xiao Yao would use him as a big lantern. Who made him a kid? As a father, I have to pamper him. Then Xiao Yao went directly to the middle of the hall. There was a long stone table with some stone chairs beside it. Xiao Yao was now going to pile up all these tables and chairs to make a staircase so that he could climb to the top where the landslide had occurred. After working for a long time, Xiao Yao finally piled up all these tables and chairs, just enough to climb to the top where the landslide had occurred. At this time, my mother had also digested the energy of the Yuho pill. How is it, Mom? Xiao Yao came to my mother and left here when she could move. Although there was no movement in this deep pit, it was a place that had been buried deep underground for many years. It was weird and gloomy everywhere, making Xiao Yao feel uncomfortable. It was better to leave early. I don't feel hungry anymore, and I feel like I have more energy. It feels like I can climb 5 floors in one breath without any effort. This pill is so magical. It's simply the best health product. Mom, this is much better than health products. You are now a new human being. New human being. That's Superman. Oh my god, Xiao Yao, don't scare me. I don't want to be a Superman. If I want to be a Superman, I have to wear my underwear outside. I won't do that. Mom, that's a foreign Superman. The Superman in our country wears his underwear inside. Okay, then I'll be a Superman too. Dad, Mom, now, let's go up first. It's getting late. My teammates are still waiting for us outside. Ah, did you bring teammates back? Yes, almost 30 people. So many. Come on, Mom, I'll help you. Hey, no need. I feel 10 years younger now. No, I'm 20 years younger. You don't need to help me. I can do it myself. Hey, who is this girl next to you? Oh, Xiao Yao, I see. This is the girlfriend you brought back, right? Show Auntie, she's so pretty, bright as a flower, with bright eyes and white teeth. I like this little girl. Mom, this is the vice captain of the team, not my girlfriend. Hello, Auntie, I'm LVCIO, Xiao Yao's teammate and the vice captain of the team. Hello, vice captain. Vice captain is okay, Xiao Yao, you can't treat Xiao Lu badly. Mom, can you go up first? It's so gloomy here, can you stay here? It's all because of your dad. Curiosity kills the cat. It doesn't matter if he's curious, but we almost starved to death here. Fortunately, Xiao Yao is back, otherwise he would have dug a hole and buried himself. Dad was touching the back of his head at this time, looking embarrassed. If he hadn't been curious about what was underneath, he wouldn't have fallen down accidentally. Fortunately, Xiao Yao is back, otherwise he would have starved to death in this place. Auntie, I'll help you. Oh, okay, Xiao Lu is still sensible. Mom was very satisfied with Xiao. She just said that she didn't need help, but she asked Xiao Lu to help her. Xiao helped Xiao Yao's mother walk up the makeshift stairs. Xiao Yao glanced at his father. Dad, please go first. Smelly boy. Dad waved and followed Xiao Yao's mother, and Xiao Yao was the last. When he reached the top, Xiao Yao felt that the whole hall suddenly became a little colder. He looked back and didn't find anything unusual. Xiao Yao even checked the small map and didn't find anything unusual. It seems that he thought too much. Xiao Yao looked back and saw that his father and others had already reached the top. Smelly boy, hurry up, so slow. I'm coming, Dad. Xiao Yao sped up and caught up with his parents. The group came to the ground again. Ah! Xiao, I'm back again. Dad shouted to the sky. After all, he fell into the deep pit for several days and now he saw the light of day again. This feeling is very refreshing. Bang! Xiao Yao's mother hit Xiao Yao's father on the head with a slap. Why are you yelling nonsense? Aren't you afraid of attracting zombies? What are you afraid of? I feel full of strength now. If the zombies dare to come, let them come without return. Yes, you are full of strength. You have said so many times, but it ended before it even started. Fuck, what are you talking about? Pay attention to the occasion. Ahem. The group left the pit and walked out of the yard. Welcome, uncle and aunt. A group of people suddenly appeared in front of them, respectfully greeting Xiao Yao's parents. They knew that these were the captain's parents, and of course their uncles and aunts. Xiao Yao, this is. Dad and Mom look strange. Could this be the teammates Xiao Yao was talking about? These are my teammates, why don't you let them stand up? Everyone get up, we are all rough people, there is no need to be so polite, making it like a gangster. Thank you, uncle and aunt. Xiao Yao, look at this place, it's collapsed like this, and we can't entertain these guests. Why don't we go to the driving school at the bottom of the mountain so that everyone can have a rest? Dad, Mom, leave the next thing to the child. His father, don't worry about these, just don't make a mess. Lao Shak, everyone get in the car, we're heading north. North? Xiao Yao, going north means entering the mountains, aren't we going to the driving school at the bottom of the mountain? At this time, the father asked again. His father. Dad, I'm sure you know that there is a cave in the north. Of course I know. It is said that there are wolves in that cave. You are not going to that cave, are you? Exactly. But, can the cave accommodate so many people? More than enough. Why, from what you said, you have been to that cave. Well, not only have I been there, but I also know that the cave is indeed a wolf's den. Then why are you going? Dad, although that cave is a wolf's den, the wolves are all dead. Just a few days ago, the Wolf King and the Tiger King in that cave fought and both died. Now, that cave is an ownerless land. That won't work either. It's not as convenient as going to the driving school. There is a 3-story building there, which is more than enough to accommodate so many people. It's too inconvenient to go to the cave. Dad, just listen to me. I'll explain it to you when we get to the cave. Okay, then I'll do as you say. Xiao Yao said to Lao Sha and the others. Everyone get in the car. The target is the cave ambition. Oh, no, I have given that place a new name, Xiao Yao Village. The convoy started again, and Xiao Yao's father sat in the armored personnel carrier driven by Xiao Yao at the front. Because the mountain road was rugged, many places could not be driven directly. Fortunately, a fire had burned the entire mountain, and there was only a place to walk. However, the school bus and tanker truck behind were not so lucky. Not long after leaving Kingshan Courtyard, there was no road to go. Captain, the mountain road is too rugged, and the school bus and tanker truck can't drive. Everyone get off the car, walk forward, and follow the armored personnel carrier closely. Yes, Captain. The people in the car got off directly and followed Xiao Yao's armored personnel carrier on foot. The tanker truck and school bus were directly left on the mountain. In the armored personnel carrier, Xiao Yao's mother looked at the girl sitting next to her and was a little curious for a while. Chapter 489, If You Are the One. Xiao Yao's motorcade left Kingshan Courtyard and drove all the way to Xiao Yao Village. Inside the armored personnel carrier, Xiao Yao's mother became curious about the girls in the car. Who are these girls? Auntie, I'm Ren Fixu, Captain Xiao Yao's teammate. I've been with Xiao Yao for a long time. Hey, Miss Fixu, not bad, not bad. What does your family do, and who are your relatives? Auntie, I'm the only one left now. My brother was killed by zombies not long ago. Oh, sorry, Miss Fixu. From now on, just treat this place as your home, and we are your relatives. Thank you, Auntie. Ren Fixu said slowly, like a reserved little girl at this time. Who is this? Auntie, I'm Xiao Yao. I was trapped in Taoyang No. 1 middle school at that time, and it was brother Xiao Yao who rescued me. Oh, Taoyang No. 1 middle school is the best high school in Taoyang City. If you go to No. 1 middle school, you will be a stable college student. Thank you, Auntie. Xiao Yao also responded with a smile. As for Lu Xiao, My mother had known her for a long time. She was the vice captain of the team, so she didn't ask her name. You three girls don't have a partner, right? Auntie, I don't. Auntie, I'm still in the third year of high school. Auntie, I don't have one either. That's great. Xiao Yao is also a freshman at Zhejiang University of Science and Technology. He studies all the time and hasn't found a girlfriend yet. It's the end of the world now, and there's no way to continue going to school. I think it's better for him to get married early to carry on the family line. I wonder if any of you girls like Xiao Yao. Mom, they and I are all teammates. Can you please stop talking nonsense? Smelly boy, drive your car, you have nothing to do here. Girls, are there any of you who like Xiao Yao? Don't worry, I'm the boss of this family. Auntie. I do. Renfixu expressed her opinion directly at this time. She didn't want to miss such an opportunity. Auntie, I'm still a student, sorry, Auntie. Xiao was embarrassed. After all, she was still a high school student. If the doomsday ended, she would still have to go to school. It was a bit too early to talk about marriage. Auntie, sorry, I also. Xiao seemed to really just regard Xiao Yao as the captain, and had no other ideas. Besides, although Xiao Yao was very strong, Xiao would not have any ideas until Xiao Yao lost weight. To be her boyfriend, you must be strong, tall and handsome, but Xiao Yao seemed to be only strong. Alice, it's her Xiao Yao who is not blessed, but, Miss Fixu, are you willing to be the wife of our Xiao Yao? Auntie, I do. Mom, I have a girlfriend. Xiao Yao, who was driving at this time, couldn't help it. If he didn't interrupt, he would find a wife for himself. Xiao Yao and Renfixu had almost no intersection. How could this be possible? Xiao Yao hurriedly made it clear that he had a girlfriend, so as to prevent his mother from making random matches. You have a girlfriend? How come, not one of these three girls? Mom, her name is Yizhinru, and she and I are classmates in the same school. However, she has been kidnapped now, and I am going to rescue her. Kidnapped? By whom? How dare they kidnap the daughter-in-law of my Xiao family? Mom, it seems that she was kidnapped by her mother. What? Her mother-in-law? What, she doesn't like our Xiao Yao, does she? Come on, Mom will take you to reason with her personally. Mom, Yizhinru's mother is probably afraid that Yizhinru will not be safe in this doomsday. She took her away just to give her a safe environment. When I become stronger, she will naturally let Yizhinru come back. Oh, okay, just tell us if you need our help. We will snatch her back even if we have to rob her. Mom, what are you talking about? We are going to pick her up, not rob her. Yes, we are going to pick her up. Then, the mother said embarrassedly to Renfixu next to her. Well, Miss Fixu, I'm really sorry. Just now, I didn't know that our Xiao Yao had a girlfriend. Please don't mind, just pretend that I never mentioned this topic. Auntie, I don't mind. Oh, that's good. Auntie, what I mean is that I don't mind Xiao Yao having a girlfriend, I can be his mistress. What? What? The second voice came from Xiao Yao's father. He was also very satisfied with the three girls in front of him. Of course, when Xiao Yao said that he had a legitimate girlfriend, it must be that the legitimate girlfriend was far more than the three in front of him. However, what made the father uneasy was that Renfixu in front of him was actually going to be Xiao Yao's mistress. This little bastard, he himself didn't have this blessing. But thinking that this was his kid, he was not so angry. How can this be, Miss Fixu? This can't be done, it's too unfair to you. Auntie, I have been with Xiao Yao for a long time. I figured it out. Now it's the end of the world, and there is nothing wrong with relying on a powerful man. The more powerful a man is, the more women will be around him. What's more, with Xiao Yao's strength, even 3 wives and 4 concubines are not a problem. I am a mistress, more for the sake of my own survival, there is nothing fair or unfair. But, Miss Fixu. Auntie, in fact, I am already Xiao Yao's person. What? What? The shocked voice appeared again. Xiao Yao. Tell me. Have you bullied Miss Fixu? Mom. That was an accident. Tell me, did you? Yes. Okay, you bastard. Hey, Mom, stop hitting me, I'm driving. Fixu, I'll make the decision for you on this matter. From now on, you're a member of the Xiao family. Mom, I have a girlfriend. Why, Do you want to be the kind of person who takes the blame and refuses to admit it? Let me tell you, if you dare to do that, I won't acknowledge you as my son. Mom, am I that kind of person? It doesn't matter if I don't care, but since Miss Fixu is yours, you have to give her a status. But, Mom, I have a girlfriend. Miss Fixu doesn't care whether she's my mistress or not. How can you, a grown man, have so many problems? I've decided on Fixu. Do you acknowledge her or not? Okay, Mom, I acknowledge her. Is that not okay? Fixu, don't be afraid. If Xiao Yao bullies you again in the future, just tell Mom and I'll make the decision for you. By the way, when was the last time that was with Xiao Yao? Auntie, this. Still call me Auntie. Mom. Chapter 490, my hometown was occupied. On the armored personnel carrier, Xiao Yao's mother started looking for a wife for Xiao Yao, just like the if you are the one on the car. When she learned that Ren Fixu had been married to Xiao Yao's mother directly recognized this daughter-in-law. Still calling me Auntie. Mom. Ren Fixu greeted Xiao Yao's mother obediently. Hey Miss Fixu, have you had your period this month? Mom, it seems not yet. Then when did you have your period last month? If it's normal, it will be tomorrow. What day was your period with Xiao Yao? It was December 19th. 7 days before and 8 days after, there's hope. What do you mean by hope? Ren Fixu looked confused at this time, not knowing what her mother was talking about. Damn, what is hope? At this time, Xiao Yao's father also joined in the fun. Don't worry about it, everything will be known tomorrow. At this time, all the teammates outside lined up in a row, closely following the armored personnel carrier. Fortunately, this was a mountain road, and the armored personnel carrier was not driving very fast. The speed of the armored personnel carrier was not as fast as walking, so everyone could keep up with the speed of the team. Squeak. Xiao Yao stopped the armored personnel carrier. In front of him was the wolf's den. Of course, it was the wolf's den in the past, but now it was the place where he created Xiao Yao village. We're here. This is our future home. Mom and Dad, get off the car. The group got off the armored personnel carrier. Fortunately, the headlights of the vehicle were still shining in front, so that everyone could see clearly. This was a cave. The entrance was not big, probably only about 2 meters square. Roar. Roar. With Xiao Yao's summons, Big Bear and Second Bear reappeared in the light of day and were summoned from the pet space. As soon as Big Bear and Second Bear appeared, they roared 2 earth-shaking bear roars, heralding the return of the king of this mountain. The appearance of Big Bear and 2 bears startled my parents and everyone else. Of course, a few people knew that Xiao Yao could summon 2 big bears, such as Lao Shak, Xiao Yu, Ren Fixu, and the rest of the people. They didn't know and were all scared when they saw the 2 beasts for the first time. Xiao Yao, where did the big bears come from? My mother was also shocked at first, but she soon calmed down. After all, the 2 bears appeared suddenly and were probably related to Xiao Yao. Dad, Mom, these are my pets, Big Bear and 2 bears. Your pets? Yes, my pets. Then Xiao Yao said to Big Bear and 2 bears. Come, meet my parents. When I'm not around, you will follow my parents' orders in everything you do. Do you understand? Big Bear and 2 bears came over, rolled over in front of my parents, and looked like a puppy waiting to be petted. It's really your pet. This is incredible. Oh, by the way, where's Duaduo? Why can't I see Duaduo? Isn't he with you? You mean Duaduo? Duaduo fell down with us. Then why can't I see Duaduo's shadow? There is a dog hole next to the hall. Duaduo went in through the dog hole. There is no trace since then. I don't know where he went. This damn Duaduo, I will make him pay when I find him. Don't worry, Duaduo is quite obedient. When you were not around, he even drove away a wolf. Drove away a wolf. Yes, a wolf that is only 3 or 4 meters tall. Wow, it's like an elephant. It must be the Silver Wolf King. Xiao Yao muttered. Could it be that the question mark on Duaduo was not because it had a mission, but because its level really exceeded the range of his reconnaissance skills? Duaduo, what is his origin? Xiao Yao's hair stood up all over his body. A dog was actually higher in level than himself. Who are you? At this moment, a group of people came out of the wolf den, all holding bows and arrows and pointing them at Xiao Yao and the others. They might have been attracted by the roar of the bears. More people were aiming at the 2 big bears. System, warning. Warning. Xiao Yao village has been occupied by the enemy. Please take it back within 1 hour, otherwise Xiao Yao village will be automatically disbanded. Oh my god. Xiao Yao was full of amusement at this time. He had created Xiao Yao village with great difficulty, but someone took advantage of his absence to occupy the village. This was really intolerable. Who are you? Why are you surrounding our cave? The leader was a short man with a beard, but he looked only about 30 years old. There were some people holding bows and arrows, crossbows, and even a few holding hunting rifles. On Xiao Yao's side, most of them were holding the melee weapons Xiao Yao had distributed to them. It seemed that Xiao Yao's side was completely defeated in terms of force. At this time, Xiao Yao suddenly felt that he had distributed the wrong equipment to them. Because melee weapons are not as safe as long-range weapons, Xiao Yao was not too nervous when he saw these survivors holding crossbows and arrows. Everyone retreat. Xiao Yao commanded everyone to retreat. These were his own team and there could be no losses. The team members that we have finally found cannot die easily, especially if they don't die in the mouths of zombies, but die in the hands of survivors. It would be too unfair. After everyone retreated, Xiao Yao came to the other side alone. Stop, take another step forward and I will shoot. Come on, shoot here. Xiao Yao pointed to his forehead and said. Don't think I don't dare. If you have the guts, shoot. I promise that as long as you dare to shoot first, the person who dies will definitely be you. Do you believe it? Xiao Yao was not equipped with a fine steel anti-injury shield at this time, but it didn't matter. There was no need to use force to deal with these new humans who were not even survivors. Arrogant. I'll say it again, this is our territory. If you want to find a hiding place, look for another place. Ridiculous. This is your territory? What evidence do you have? We found this place first, of course it's our territory. Oh, according to you, whoever finds it first gets it. Of course, first come, last talk. What if first come, last talk? What if first come, last talk? Then I want to say, I found this place first, then shouldn't you also look for another place and leave the place for me? Of course, but unfortunately, we found the place first, so sorry, please leave. We don't want to point bows and arrows at our compatriots. Don't force us to take action. Coincidentally, I really found the place first, and there are my furniture and luggage in the cave. On the left is an underground river, where white fish rush out of the underground river. It is also my bedroom, where I put all my furniture. The big cave in the middle is where my two pets live. As you can see, it is where the big bear and the second bear next to me live. The cave on the right is where I cleaned up and prepared to let my teammates live. I was just out temporarily this time. Because of limited conditions, I was alone at the time, so I didn't arrange anyone to guard it. I didn't expect you to take advantage of the opportunity to occupy the cave. Now I'm back. If you don't want to get hurt or die, leave quickly if you know what's good for you, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. Chapter 491, Possessed by the God of Death. After returning to Xiao Yao village, Xiao Yao found that the cave was occupied by other survivors. At this time, Xiao Yao was trying to negotiate. It would be best if the problem could be solved without conflict. Boss, he is right. It seems that this place is really his. Bullshit. If he says it is his, it is his? Boy, I don't care if this place was not yours before. Now it is mine. I have the final say. Oh, so you mean, you want to rob it? Yes, I will rob it. It's the end of the world. Who will play house with you? Whoever has the bigger fist will listen to him. Of course, if you have more people, whoever is willing to follow me can live in the cave. If anyone wants to rob this cave, my men will not agree. Get out. Get out. Get out. The short bear's men shouted at Xiao Yao like a common enemy, and even all of them pointed their guns, bows, arrows and crossbows at Xiao Yao alone. Roar. Roar. Big Bear and Two Bear roared. If Xiao Yao hadn't stopped them, they might have rushed up to tear these survivors apart. Xiao Yao hesitated for a moment. It seemed that this matter could not be resolved peacefully. There were two options before Xiao Yao. One was to kill them all without leaving any alive. The other was to let them know how powerful he was and let them go. Of course, it was impossible to give the cave to them. This was the place Xiao Yao had prepared for his parents, family, and even teammates to live. Moreover, the date of the nuclear bomb launch was approaching. This cave might be the only place where they could survive. Big Beard, this stupid decision of yours will kill all your people. Oh, it's really funny, But I admire you very much. You can be so calm even when so many people are pointing at your head. I admire your courage. However, I don't think I can recruit you as such an excellent person. Even if I recruit you as my younger brother, I can't control you. So, sorry, either leave here or die. I have already said that I discovered this point first, and many of my supplies are in the cave. If you continue to occupy my cave, it means that you are declaring war on me, and the fight will not end until you die. If any of you don't want to die, you can leave, and I will pretend that nothing has happened. If you are still standing opposite me, it means that you are declaring war on my territory, and my response is to fight to the death. I will give you 5 minutes to think about it. After 5 minutes, I will come back to take over my territory. Those who are still here will have only one end: death. Xiao Yao turned and left after speaking, in the opposite direction of his team. Xiao Yao turned his back to them and returned to his team. The group of people holding bows, arrows and hunting rifles on the opposite side did not fire. To be honest, their number was not large, only a dozen people, and Xiao Yao's team had more than 30 people. However, most of the people in Xiao Yao's team were holding melee weapons, and there were almost no people holding long-range weapons. Captain, why are you talking nonsense with them? Just do it. At this time, Lao Sha looked eager to try. After all, they are survivors, and we should give them a chance. If they are still stubborn, just kill them without leaving any alive. Xiao Yao, this is not good. We are all human. Mom, it's the end of the world now. Kindness will only cost lives. But, just drive them away. There's no need to kill them all. Mom, I can't stay here forever. I still have to go to Longman Mountain for revenge, and I have to go to Tank Mountain to find Yizenru. If I let them go, what if they attack you when I'm not here? I don't want to bear the consequences. So, I have to be the one to do this evil. Xiao Yao. Mom, stop talking, I've made up my mind. Then Xiao Yao distributed all the usable pistols, and several regular team members were given a pistol. Due to the limited number, the trainee team members could only use melee weapons. You guys move away from here later. If a gunfight breaks out, stay hidden. Leave all the fighting to me. I'll try not to let the fighting spread to this side. Captain, I understand. Okay, time's up. You guys move away from here. It's getting late. I'll try to get everyone a good night's sleep. Xiao Yao turned and walked towards the cave entrance. At this time, the people on the opposite side once again pointed their weapons at Xiao Yao. The 5 minutes are up. I don't know what you think. Open fire. Kill this arrogant guy for me. The short-bearded man on the opposite side didn't say much nonsense. This was a place they couldn't lose. They had no choice but to declare war. As the saying goes, the first to strike is the strongest. As long as they get rid of the leader, the rest won't be a problem. They're all useless with melee weapons. Bang! 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 Swoosh! Whoosh! Whoosh! The sounds of shotguns and bows and arrows were endless, and all the attacks were aimed at Xiao Yao alone. Xiao Yao. Behind him was the heartbreaking cry of Xiao Yao's mother, who thought Xiao Yao was going to be beaten to death. Mom, don't worry, Xiao Yao is fine. Ren Fixu pulled Xiao Yao's mother to comfort her. Auntie, don't worry, this level of motivation will not work on Xiao Yao. Sure enough, after the two women finished speaking, the first wave of attacks ended. And Xiao Yao was still standing there, intact. I'm sorry, there is a road to heaven but you don't take it, there is no door to hell but you break in, it seems that you all chose to die. Impossible. You are a demon. Why didn't you die? The person opposite you found that the bullets and bows and crossbows hit the other person's body and all fell off. How could this be possible? The person in front of you is actually invulnerable to swords and guns. Brains are good things, but unfortunately you don't have them. You said it yourself, I am a demon, how could I die? Then Xiao Yao took out a military machine gun. He is a new human. He must be a new human. A new human who is invulnerable to swords and guns. Sir, don't kill me. I surrender. I surrender. At this time, all the people on the opposite side threw away their weapons, knelt on the ground, and kept kowtowing to Xiao Yao. But Xiao Yao smiled evilly and did not speak. What responded to them was the ruthless shooting of the military machine gun. If apologies are useful, what is the use of justice? If apologies are useful, what is the use of the king's law? And I represent justice. I am the king's law. 222. At this time, Xiao Yao became ruthless and cold-blooded. The bullets of the military machine gun were like tilting flames, shooting at the survivors who had surrendered in front of him. Ah! 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 The screams were endless. Run for your life! Help! The cries for help and escape were endless. 222. The gunshots continued, and the cries continued. Everyone couldn't bear to see this cruel scene. This was a one-sided massacre. The opponent's weapon attack couldn't even break through Xiao Yao's defense, and the survivors on the opposite side fell down like wheat being cut. After a few breaths, the gunshots stopped, and the screams stopped. There were a group of corpses lying around the cave entrance, and the ground was stained with blood. They did not die at the hands of zombies, but at the gun of Xiao Yao, and the blood flowed like a river. Xiao Yao turned around slowly with a gun in one hand, and the murderous aura of Xiao Yao, who was like a killer, was so strong that the people who were already far away from Xiao Yao took a few steps back again. Chapter 492 Reclaim Xiao Yao Village. At this time, Xiao Yao was like a killer, and his murderous aura forced everyone to take a few steps back. Clean up the bodies and move into Xiao Yao Village. Yes! The shouts shook the sky. Xiao Yao's cold-blooded and ruthless treatment of the enemy also gave everyone a strong cohesion. There were a few younger brothers who did not really join him, and their friendship levels also rose at this time. At this time, they did not have the slightest rebellious heart. Xiao Yao was ruthless, but Xiao Yao was powerful. It was the end of the world, and a merciful leader would only ruin the lives of his teammates. At this time, Xiao Yao already had the attitude of a qualified leader, decisive and ruthless. Only by following such a leader can you survive better. Xiao Yao came in front of his parents, and both of them took a half step back because of Xiao Yao's murderous aura. Dad, Mom, I scared you just now, didn't I? Xiao Yao, you have changed. Why are you so bloodthirsty now? Mom, don't worry, I know what's going on. I had to kill them. If I don't kill them all at once, there will be endless troubles. Alice, we have already killed them, what else can we do? Mom and Dad, let's go. This will be our home from now on. Let's go in and take a look. Let's go, Dad. Dad patted Xiao Yao's shoulder, did not say anything, just nodded, which was an affirmation of Xiao Yao. Everyone understood that killing these people who occupied the cave was the best result. But to make this decision and be this evil person, how much courage is needed? This is also what everyone admires Xiao Yao for. As for letting them go, to be honest, there is really no idea how much trouble there will be in the future, and no one knows whether the other party will temporarily give in and return to attack when Xiao Yao is out. Captain, we found several old people and children in the cave. What should we do? Kill them. Xiao Yao knew that the blood feud was a foregone conclusion. He could not be merciful at this time. If the grass is not uprooted, it will grow again in the spring breeze. Xiao Yao did not want to do such a thing. He had to do it once and for all. Xiao Yao. When the mother heard that there were old people and children, she felt sorry for them again. At this time, the father pulled the mother's arm and shook his head at her. Xiao Yao did all these for the safety of his parents and teammates. Xiao Yao was already condemning himself in his heart. If his teammates and parents did not understand Xiao Yao, what was the point of doing all these things? The old people and children inside were brought out, and Xiao Yao stepped forward. Take them to the side, I will do it. Yes. Several younger brothers took them to the side of the cave, and Xiao Yao signaled to let them go. Sir, please spare us, sir, please spare us, we don't want to die. I'm sorry, if you want to blame someone, you can only blame yourself for following the wrong person. 222. The sound of machine guns rang out again, and the crying and shouting soon ended. Lao Shan. Here. Pile up all the bodies and burn them. Yes. After burning them, clean up the bloodstains at the entrance of the cave, arrange for people to be on guard, and the rest is up to you. Yes. System, congratulations to the village chief for successfully taking back Xiao Yao village. Only then was the battle completely over. Xiao Yao opened the village, and all functions returned to normal. However, there were no facilities, and even the simple village chief's office was not built. Everything will be discussed tomorrow. Whether it is stone or wood, I don't have any now, and I can't build this so-called village chief's office. After confirming that all the enemies were eliminated, Xiao Yao came to the entrance of the cave. At this time, Big Bear and Little Bear were still at the entrance and had not entered the cave. You two come in too. Then Xiao Yao walked towards the cave, and Big Bear and Little Bear behind him also followed Xiao Yao into the cave happily. At this time, the cave hall was already crowded with people. Except for a few people who were cleaning up corpses and guarding, the rest of the personnel were all waiting for accommodation. Everyone has worked hard along the way. It's already very late. I won't say anything else. This hall will be your collective dormitory from now on. Captain, this is the center of the cave. Shouldn't it be where the captain stays? Why should it be used as a dormitory? Because this is the only place that can accommodate so many of you. I'll just live next to it. Captain, that's not possible. You are the captain. I can't let you live next to it. This place should be left for you. Yes, Captain, let's just squeeze in over there. Everyone was talking one after another. After all, according to their ideas, the best place was of course the leader's place, and Xiao Yao was powerful enough to deserve to live in the best place. I am very grateful for everyone's kindness, but in order to make everyone feel more comfortable, this place will be a collective dormitory. That's it, don't discuss it anymore. It's already midnight, and if we discuss it again, we'll have to discuss it until tomorrow. If you have anything to say, wake up and talk about it tomorrow. Why don't you thank our good captain yet? At this time, a thin man next to him said to the people behind him. Thank you, Captain. Well, let's find a place to rest. If there is anything, we'll discuss it tomorrow. Farewell, Captain. Xiao Yao led his parents and several women to the underground river in the west. Lao Sha was still arranging things outside at this time and did not come in. Several people came to the riverside of the underground river again. The furniture was still there, but the position had been changed. Some simple beds were added next to it. It seemed that someone had slept here. Dad, Mom, let's live in this cave from now on. This place is great, there's an underground river next to it. Dad, haven't you always wanted to go fishing? There are so many fish in this underground river, I guarantee you'll have enough to fish. Plop. Plop. There were two sounds of falling into the water, and everyone looked over to see that Big Bear and Second Bear had already jumped into the water, actually taking a bath. Haha, Big Bear and Second Bear's bear-like appearance made the woman giggle. Then Big Bear raised the white fish in his hand and swallowed it in one gulp. This bear is catching fish. Dad, of course bears can catch fish, and Big Bear and Second Bear are much better at catching fish than I am. What the hell do you know about fishing? Wait for a chance and let me show you how to do it. Speaking of showing you how to do it, Dad, I haven't had your spicy chicken for a long time. Why don't you show me how to do it now? Okay, then show me how to do it and let my daughter-in-law have a taste. Okay, Xiao Yao started to buy chicken and then took out some cooking tools. Several girls also helped, but Renfixu wanted to help but was stopped by her mother, who told her to sit quietly and not do any work in the future, making her look like a giant panda. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 493, Strange Sounds in the Cave. After entering the cave, in order to give everyone a spacious place to rest, Xiao Yao gave the largest cave in the middle to everyone, and brought his family and several women to the underground river in the west. Dad wanted to show off his skills and make his signature dish, Xiao Yao's unique secret recipe spicy chicken, and all the women rushed to help. Renfixa couldn't beat her mother and could only sit on the simple bed. She glanced at Xiao Yao and smiled sweetly, but Xiao Yao smiled awkwardly. There was really nothing between him and Renfixu. That time was purely an accident. However, Xiao Yao didn't want to make his mother angry, so he didn't say anything. Everything could only wait until he brought Yizinru back. When he brought Yizinru back, his mother shouldn't force him. At this time, in the hall in the middle of the cave, everyone had slowly found their own position. Of course, the best position in the middle was still reserved for Xiao Yao. Although Xiao Yao gave them the largest cave, they did not occupy the highest point. This was the minimum respect for Xiao Yao. Some people were eating supper to replenish their energy, some people had already lain down, they were exhausted from this trip, some people were still writing diaries to record their journey. This was the most peaceful night they had ever slept. Of course, the so-called most peaceful was after the doomsday. It was already early morning when Xiao Yao and his friends finished eating his father's spicy chicken. After 3 rounds of wine, everyone was a little drunk, But Xiao Yao's mother was the most sober one at this time. She covered everyone with bedding and found a suitable place to lie down and sleep. Xiao Yao arranged Big Bear and 2 bears to guard a cave entrance each, which was the safest guard. Xiao Yao would never rely on others for his safety. The next day, December 28, 2114, today is the 27th day of the doomsday. Unknowingly, the doomsday has come for almost a month. It was already 3 o'clock in the morning, close to noon. However, in the entire Xiao Yao village, except for the village chief Xiao Yao, everyone else woke up early. Some of them cleaned up the cave, some made breakfast, some were on guard, and they looked surprisingly orderly. Damn it, why hasn't this kid changed his habit of sleeping late? This is only in the cave. If he was outside, he would have been eaten by zombies. He doesn't follow me at all. He sleeps like a dead pig. His father, just let Xiao Yao sleep a little longer. He must be exhausted these days. It's hard to find a place to stay. It's inevitable that the tension will relax. Let Xiao Yao have a good rest. Okay, let him sleep a little longer. Let's go out and take a look. The scenery on the green hills must be very beautiful. We didn't have time to appreciate it in peacetime, but now we have time. Let's go, Xiao Lu, Xiao Yu, let's go out and take a look. Let Fei Zhu stay here. Okay, Auntie. The 2 girls obediently supported Xiao Yao's mother's arms on the left and right, while Xiao Yao's father became a lonely man. However, the old man was still smiling, and walked out of the cave with big strides. The 2 new humans were no longer afraid of the zombies outside, and they wanted to find a zombie to practice with right now. After they left the cave, they were stunned by the scenery in front of them. Looking around, there were no green mountains and clear waters. What they saw was a desolate scene. The green mountains had turned into black mountains, and all the trees had been burned to charcoal. There was almost no green. How could this happen? Auntie, I saw the trees around us were burnt last night. I thought it was just a place we passed by. I didn't expect that the whole mountain was burned. Who set the fire? Really, he should be arrested and locked up for decades. Alice, his father, it seems that the hope of enjoying the beautiful scenery is shattered. I don't know who set the fire on the mountain. Forget it, if there is no zombie, don't look. This is also good. At least, there will be no zombies hiding behind the trees. If there is a zombie, you can see it at a glance. It's safe. Yes, you always find your excuse. Xiao Yao suddenly snorted in his sleep. He didn't know who was thinking about him or talking about him. Xiao Yao didn't know that at this time, his parents and several women outside the cave were scolding the person who set the fire on the mountain. Fixu heard Xiao Yao sneeze and thought it was too cold, so she moved some quilts from the bedding of the people next to her and covered Xiao Yao. Suddenly, Xiao Yao grabbed Ren Fixu's hand again. Xinru, where have you been, do you know? I miss you so much. Ren Fixu heard Xiao Yao calling Xinru's name, and knew that Xiao Yao was probably dreaming about the girl named Yi Xinru again. I don't know which family this Xinru is from, who can make Xiao Yao so obsessed. Xinru, wait for me. I will rescue you now. I am now a 3rd-level new human. I believe I have the ability to protect you. Your family should also be relieved to hand you over to me. I miss you so much. 3rd-level new human. At this time, Ren Fixu's eyes widened. She only knew that it was just a new human. But she didn't know that new humans were divided into levels. 3rd level? What level is this? Ren Fixu had no idea. After all, she was not even a 1st-level new human, let alone a 3rd-level new human. It sounds so powerful. Xinru. I found my parents. They are all safe. When I have settled everything, I will rescue you back. Wait for me. Hearing Xiao Yao talking about Yi Xinru all the time, Ren Fixu's heart ached. Xiao Yao should only have Yi Xinru in his heart. Is there any place for her in his heart, even if it is as small as a fingernail? Ren Fixu looked at Xiao Yao's face. When will this fat fool give a little of his heart to her? At this time, Xiao Yao's hair had grown a little long, and his bangs blocked his eyes. Ren Fixu used her fingers to gently push Xiao Yao's hair apart. Xinru. Xiao Yao grabbed Ren Fixu's hand, and then pulled her into his arms. At this time, Ren Fixu struggled a little, and then gently lay on Xiao Yao's chest. The strong heartbeat made Ren Fixu's heartbeat speed up. The last accident happened half a month ago, and Ren Fixu already missed it a little. Then, Renfixu gently kissed Xiao Yao on the mouth. Outside the cave, Xiao Yao's mother had already taken the position of female leader. You are Xiao, right? Yes, Auntie, I am Xiao Yao's slave, Xiao. Slave? What is a slave? A slave means that everything I have belongs to Captain Xiao Yao, including my life, and Captain Xiao Yao can take it away at any time. How can you do this bad boy? When he wakes up, I will let him restore your status as a free man. What's the point of being a slave? What kind of evil tricks are you playing? Auntie, I did this voluntarily. It has nothing to do with Captain Xiao Yao. Please don't embarrass Captain Xiao Yao or me. Okay, it's your business, I can't control it, and I don't want to control it. Alice, why haven't you cleaned up the bloodstains on the ground? How can this be? This will be our home in the future. It's not good to have bloodstains at the doorstep. Come on, those guys over there, go to the underground river to get some water and clean this place up. Yes, Auntie. Several people ran to the underground river to get water. This is the captain's mother. If she shows up in front of her auntie more, she will definitely have a bright future. Hurry up, do a good job. My aunt will definitely say a few good words to the captain, and then we will be official team members. Stop. The people walking in front suddenly stopped. What's wrong? Listen. At this time, several people listened attentively, and they heard the sound of natural disasters such as volcanic eruptions and tsunamis not far away. Chapter 494 Level 2 Village. The bloodstains on the ground at the entrance of Kingshan Cave were not cleaned up last night. At this time, Xiao Yao's mother ordered several younger brothers to fetch water from the underground river, clean the ground again, and remove the bloodstained soil. Before the younger brothers approached the underground river, they heard the sound of natural disasters such as the eruption of volcano and the tsunami. Oh no, it's the captain playing games with his sister-in-law, let's evacuate quickly. Several people quickly evacuated the cave. Just kidding, although they also wanted to visit, but this was the captain, and if they were found, they would be hung up and beaten. Several people ran out in panic. Hey, you guys, why are you out again? Where's the water? I asked you to fetch water from the underground river, why did you come out empty-handed? At this time, a boy whispered a few words in his mother's ear, and his mother's face gradually became better, and even laughed. Boy, you did a great job on this. You guys, go to the 2 cave entrances and guard them for me. No one is allowed to disturb my baby son. Yes, and several boys went to guard happily. From the other side of the cave, there were pleasant sounds coming from time to time, which made the guards a little distracted, imagining the scenes inside. Xiao Yao had woken up at this time, and was woken up by Renfixu. But at this time, Xiao Yao had already made up his mind and had to shoot the arrow on the string. No matter whether she was Renfixu or not, it was not the first time anyway, so there were the following things. A heartbreaking song, Where Can I Find a Soulmate in the World? When the sun was high in the sky, Xiao Yao finally woke up. In his arms was Renfixu, the woman he didn't want to have too much contact with. However, there was no way at this time. Not only did his mother want Renfixu to be her daughter-in-law, but he couldn't get away with what he did to Renfixu. He was just a big pig's hoof, a scumbag, so be it. Anyway, it was not the first time. The natural disaster was over, Xiao Yao came out of the cave, and Renfixu was still in the underground river and hadn't come out. Xiao Yao, don't you want to sleep for a while? No, it's already noon, it will be dark if you sleep any longer. Well, okay, you can arrange the next things, your father and I will go to the cave to clean up. Lao Shak, arrange for everyone to line up for registration. Yes, Captain. Xiao Yao took out a table and a stool and placed them at the entrance of the cave. Then, Xiao Yao sat down and opened the village option. All these people must be registered to be considered villagers of this village. It is not that they can be considered villagers of Xiao Yao village just by living in the cave. They must be registered. Xiao Yao even wanted to make a villager medal, wouldn't it be better this way? Everyone lined up, and then Xiao Yao added their names one by one as villagers. So far, there are 28 villagers in Xiao Yao village. Dad, Mom and Renfixu have not been added yet, so they can only be added later. After adding the 3 of them, Xiao Yao village will have 31 people, which can be upgraded to level 2 village. Village, Xiao Yao village chief, Xiao Yao village level 1 village population 28 territory range. 100 constructible buildings, village chief's office. Upgrading requires a population of 10. Upgrade. System, Xiao Yao village is upgraded to level 2 village, unlocking the second level village chief's office, houses, and storage room. Village, houses, can accommodate 10 villagers, and the construction requires 1,000 wood and 1,000 stone. Storage room, can store materials for 10 villagers to live for 1 year, and the construction requires 1,000 wood and 1,000 stone. Forget it, it has become a cultivation game now. Xiao Yao glanced at the village level. To upgrade to level 3 village, a level 1 village chief's office is required, and the population reaches 20. Although the population has been reached, the village chief's office has not been built yet, so it cannot be upgraded, and it can only be left for the time being. However, there is no time to build these so-called village chief's offices, houses, and storage rooms. Now, the cave must be reinforced to prepare for the upcoming nuclear bomb attack. 10 meters underground can prevent nuclear explosions. This cave is a natural air raid shelter. The deepest part of the cave is even 200 meters deep from the cave entrance. As long as everyone stays in the deepest part of the cave, it will not be a problem to avoid a nuclear explosion. The only problem is to reinforce the solidity of the cave. Otherwise, it will not be a way to avoid a nuclear explosion. If the mountain collapses, everyone will be buried alive. Reinforcing the mountain requires materials, whether it is cement, steel pipes, etc. Xiao Yao's backpack does not have these things. Xiao Yao couldn't go searching alone in such a short time, so the next task was to mobilize the villagers to go out and search together. Xiao Yao waved his hand. Okay, everyone, be quiet and listen to me now. Now, I want to tell you a piece of news. I hope you are mentally prepared. On January 1st, the Military Affairs Department will launch a nuclear bomb to clear out the zombies in Xiao Yao City. What? Launch a nuclear bomb? Damn, this is to kill them all. Don't they know that there are still countless survivors in Xiao Yao City? Let me tell you another piece of news. Captain, what news? This doomsday disaster may only occur in Xiao Yao City. Other cities may still be in the peaceful era before the doomsday. Captain, are you telling the truth? I'm just guessing, and the probability of guessing is very high. Captain, let's run away quickly. Let's leave this city as soon as possible before the Military Affairs Department launches a nuclear bomb. Escape? Where to escape? Now the city may have been surrounded by people from the Military Affairs Department. The entire Xiao Yao City has been isolated. As long as we dare to step out of this city, we will not be greeted by the warm welcome of the Military Aircraft Department, but by their bullets, or even missiles. Captain, this is impossible. Will they shoot at us survivors? Before the end of the world, I believe everyone has seen many movies about this kind of disaster. In order to protect the interests of more people, their butcher knives are likely to be aimed at us, otherwise there will be no nuclear bomb attack on Xiao Yao City. What should we do? Are we all going to die? No, although the Military Aircraft Department did not send anyone to rescue, they notified the news in advance, which means that they were forced to launch nuclear bombs, and whether we can survive depends on ourselves. Then how should we survive? As far as I know, we only need to be 10 meters below the underground bunker to avoid the shock wave of the nuclear explosion. 10 meters. It doesn't seem difficult. This is our hope of survival. We have a ready-made place, the cave behind. The deepest part is 200 meters away from the cave entrance, and the thickness of the mountain can definitely avoid the disaster of this nuclear explosion. Great! Everyone cheered excitedly. Fortunately, they followed Dean Xiao Yao to Kingshan. If they continued to stay in Dongho town, they would definitely not have escaped this disaster. Chapter 495 Kingshan Courtyard. When everyone heard that they could avoid the crisis of the nuclear explosion by hiding in the cave, they cheered. Don't be happy too early. We have to avoid not only the disaster of the nuclear explosion, but also the life after the nuclear explosion. You know, even if a normal person survives, it is difficult to escape the erosion of nuclear radiation. If it is not necessary, we have to live underground for a while. Even if it is feasible, we will dig a tunnel and dig out of the scope of Xiao Yao City. They set up a defense line on the ground, and I don't believe they have set up a defense line underground. However, this project cannot be completed by me alone. I need everyone's joint efforts. Captain, just tell us what we need to do, and we will do our best. Yes, Captain, If you have any instructions, just tell us. My idea is this. We now have 24 teammates, and the number can no longer be called a team. So, we are now collectively called Xiao. I am the dean, and Xiao Yao and Xiao are vice deans. Xiao has 3 teams, each with 8 people. Set up a village guard team. Xiao will be the captain, responsible for guarding the perimeter of our Xiao Yao village, responsible for vigilance and handling harassment and attacks from enemies below the first level. If a strong enemy appears, do not linger in a fight, notify me immediately to deal with it. I don't want any casualties among my teammates. I have worked hard to bring you all back, and no one can be left behind. Yes. Xiao stepped out and bowed to Xiao Yao. In addition, set up a construction team. The construction team will be responsible for the construction of Xiao Yao village, and strive to open up the mountain road leading to Qingshan Courtyard as quickly as possible, that is, the place where the collapsed mountain guard's courtyard is. In this way, it can be directly connected to the mountain road leading to Qingshan Courtyard, and our search for supplies will become very fast, and the vehicles for searching for supplies can be driven directly to Xiao Yao village. If anyone is from the construction field, they can sign up actively. The captain position is temporarily vacant, and let Vice Dean Xiao temporarily serve as the construction captain. Yes. Xiao stepped out of the line and bowed to Xiao Yao. In addition, set up another Qingshan hunting team, responsible for searching for supplies and rescuing survivors. I will be the captain temporarily. Each team will have 8 people. Now you can freely choose which team you want to join. Just go to the captain of that team. As Xiao Yao finished speaking, everyone formed teams freely. Almost most people stood beside Xiao Yao. A few people stood in front of Xiao, and in front of Xiao. There was no one pitiful person. Captain, it seems that I can only bear the responsibility of guarding the village alone. I know that everyone wants to go out to search for supplies. However, we are a group, and we can't all go out. Leave one person at home to watch the house, right? Since you don't choose, then I will arrange it for you. Going out to search for supplies must kill zombies. However, it doesn't mean that only men can do it. I have no prejudice against men and women. I took a look and found that our number is exactly 1-to-1. In this way, each team has half men and half women. As the saying goes, men and women work together and are not tired. You, go to Xiao's team. You, go to Xiao's team. Okay, time is running out. In order to open up the road to Qingshan Courtyard as soon as possible, the village guard team will help the construction team to open up the mountain road as soon as possible. I hope I can drive here directly before sunset. Is there any problem? No. Okay, if the mountain road can be opened before sunset, I will give you benefits. Long live the captain. Ahem, don't you all have brains? The boss has just said that it is no longer called Qingshan Team, but Qingshan Courtyard. We should now call it Dean Xiao Yao. Dean Xiao Yao. Okay, everyone do their job and hurry up. Yes. Dean. The members of the 2 teams immediately took action. In order to open up the mountain road leading to the Qingshan Courtyard, they were very serious. This was the first thing that Dean Xiao Yao asked them to do, and they had to do it beautifully. The members of Xiao Yao's Qingshan hunting team stood beside Xiao Yao with hope on their faces. After all, following Xiao Yao, they were equivalent to Dean Xiao Yao's personal guards. At this time, Xiao walked to Xiao Yao, looking like he wanted to say something but didn't know what to say. What's wrong, Xiao? If you have anything to say, just say it directly. Dean, is there really a nuclear explosion on January 1st? What about the people in Donghu town? They may all die. Look at your bear look, you are worried about Xiao Yao? Don't worry, I have already told Bai and Lihu before leaving, let them find an air raid shelter to hide, and if it doesn't work, go to the long-mentioned military aircraft department. Anyway, there must be an air raid shelter there. Sorry, Dean, I thought. You thought I didn't tell them? And then they will be blown up this time. Yes, I'm sorry, Dean. It's okay. I understand that you care about your friends. They are also my friends, aren't they? I not only told Bai and Lihu, I also told Huolbushi. I wanted to tell Qin Haoshan, but he didn't come. Then I had no choice but to leave everything to fate. Dean, thank you. I'll get busy now. Wait. Does the Dean have any other instructions? You don't really like Xiao Yao, do you? Like, okay, If we can survive this nuclear explosion, I'll give you a holiday and ask you to go to Dongho Town to pick up Xiao Yao. It's up to you whether you pick him up or not. What the dean said is true. Damn, do you mean I lied? Your subordinate deserves death. Lao Shan knew he had said the wrong thing and knelt on one knee on the ground. Get up. If you say a word, I'll kill you. That would be too cruel. After the nuclear explosion, if the situation is not so bad, I'll give you a holiday. After all, you are also a new human. It should not be a problem to deal with a little radiation. But this is just my guess. Everything can only be discussed after the nuclear explosion. Thank you, Dean. Get up quickly. Dean, I'll be busy then. Well, go ahead. Xiao Yao watched Lao Sha leave happily. The melancholy little prince just now suddenly became a little silly. Xiao Yao shook his head. It seems that Lao Sha is really moved. Dean Xiao Yao. Yes, what's wrong? You don't seem to have arranged which team I should join. Xiao Yao, who was standing aside at this time, suddenly stepped forward. You. Yes. You will be responsible for staying with my mother, doing some housework, and cleaning up Xiao Yao village. But I also want to join the Qingshan hunting team. You are still a high school student, so don't participate in these things. Be obedient. If you really want to do something, go find my mother and let her find something for you to do. Chapter 496 The Mysterious Confidence of the Female Driver. Xiao Yao assigned tasks and teams to everyone, but Xiao was left behind. In fact, Xiao Yao did not do it unintentionally, but intentionally. Xiao Yao is just a high school student. This kind of fighting and killing is not suitable for a little girl, so she was assigned to her mother to help her mother. Go. I don't have time to discuss this topic. Every second is very precious now. Okay. Xiao walked into the cave with her head down, and it seemed that she was going to find Xiao Yao's mother. Dean Xiao Yao did not put her in the team. She didn't look very happy. Although she has always been an insignificant role, she also wants to do more for this group, otherwise it will seem too invisible. Along the way, it seems that she has no role at all, making herself like a transparent person. Dean, where should we go to search for supplies now? Let's go down the mountain and empty all the surrounding villages. The main thing is to see if we can find some building materials so that we can reinforce the cave and search for food and daily necessities. After this nuclear explosion, we may have to survive underground for a long time. After all, nuclear radiation is not a joke. Xiao Yao got on the armored personnel carrier parked next to him, and the 8 people in the team also got in one after another. It was the first time for several people to ride in an armored personnel carrier. At this time, they looked left and right, looking very curious. Xiao Yao drove the armored personnel carrier to Qingshan courtyard. No, how can I be a driver again? Without Lao Sha, I must teach someone who can drive an armored personnel carrier. Who among you can drive? Me. Xiao Yao just asked a simple question, but he didn't expect that all 8 people in the car could drive. It was very difficult to find someone who could drive in the past, but now it's good. Driving is already a basic skill. I'm in need of a driver. Who wants to drive this armored personnel carrier? Oh, Xiao Yao didn't expect that they were all silent at this time, not only the women, but also the men. What's wrong? You don't want to drive this armored personnel carrier? Dean, we are afraid that we can't drive well and cause trouble to you. Hey, it's no different from driving a car. I'm just taking you out this time. I can't take you out every time. Dean, do you mean that you will only take us out this time? Yes, I will choose a captain for you this time, so you should perform well. The best performer will be the captain of this team, and then you can only complete the next hunting process alone. Everyone was silent for a while. They thought it was safest to follow Xiao Yao. After all, Xiao Yao's strength was there. However, what they never expected was that Xiao Yao would not be their captain and only took them out this time. Dean, let me try. Please teach me how to drive an armored personnel carrier. You. Xiao Yao looked back at the person who had just spoken. It turned out to be a woman with a ponytail. However, what made Xiao Yao's eyes light up was that this woman had blue hair. A woman. What else? Why does Dean Xiao Yao look down on women? No, that's not what I meant. I just didn't expect that the first person who wanted to learn how to drive an armored personnel carrier from me would be a woman. What's wrong with being a woman? Who am along is not the same as a woman. She is also a heroine who will be remembered forever. I can do it too. Okay, since you have the courage, then I will teach you. You can take the co-pilot. The blue-haired woman bent over and came to the co-pilot. Xiao Yao explained to her the functions of the buttons and the precautions for driving. How is it? How much do you understand? Almost. So amazing. Of course, all vehicles are basically the same, and the control methods are similar. Okay, then when we get to the highway, I'll let you drive it and try it. No, you can do it now. Now. Xiao Yao glanced at the mountain road outside. Although he had passed the Qingshan courtyard, this mountain road was still not as smooth as the highway. Dean, you should know that we will face any environment alone in the future. It is impossible for us to take flat roads. We may experience all kinds of rugged terrain. This mountain road is relatively flat. If we don't dare to drive on this mountain road, how can we go out hunting? Okay, in that case, I'll let you drive it for a try. Xiao Yao stopped the armored personnel carrier and exchanged seats with a blue-haired woman. Dean, sit tight. Although I have confidence in myself, it is inevitable that I will feel a little bumpy at the beginning because I have never driven a car before. Where is your confidence just now? Boom boom. The armored personnel carrier rushed out like a beast. A charred tree trunk on the side of the road was directly broken by the armored personnel carrier, and the vehicle sped away. Oh my god, where did you get your confidence just now? As expected, you can't trust the confidence of a female driver. Xiao Yao tightly grasped the handle on the armored personnel carrier. The armored personnel carrier was like a headless fly, running around on the mountain road. Everyone in the car screamed in fear. Several people hugged each other tightly. Unexpectedly, the female driver's operation accidentally helped several pairs of survivors. Fortunately, the blue-haired woman's confidence was not unfounded. Finally, after arriving at the north gate of the driving school, the armored personnel carrier was able to drive smoothly. Huh? Xiao Yao took a deep breath. Beauty, I am optimistic about your confidence, but your driving skills really need more practice. Otherwise, even if I agree to let you drive, I am afraid that these teammates in the car will not agree to ride in your car. The blue-haired beauty looked back and saw that the faces of the people behind her were very ugly at this time, a bit like riding a roller coaster, and they were still frightened. Sorry, I scared you, but please believe me, now I have gotten the hang of it, I believe the next trip will not be so bumpy. Girl, what's your name? Although Xiao Yao could see the name displayed on the detection glasses, Xiao Yao was a little bit untrustworthy about the detection glasses now. After all, these detection glasses have a criminal record. If the target hides his name or has a mission, the name displayed by the detection glasses is not the target's real name at all. Xiao Yao now really feels like he is being monitored and controlled. Everything depends on the information displayed by the detection glasses. Xiao Yao has a guess. What if the information displayed by these detection glasses is wrong? Or, is all this controlled by the system behind the scenes? Thinking of this, Xiao Yao suddenly felt panic in his heart. If the system is the mastermind behind controlling him, should he continue to use this system or throw it away? Now he has become very dependent on the system, which is not a good sign. Chapter 497 Xiao Sun's Proposal. System, beep. Injecting memory sealing reagent. System, beep. Memory sealed. Xiao Yao in the car suddenly felt dazed, as if he had lost something. Dean? Dean. Ah. What's wrong? Nothing. Hey, where are we going? Dean, didn't you say we were going to the village below to scavenge supplies? Oh, I almost forgot. By the way, what's your name, girl? My name is Zhao Mangsu. Zhao Mangsu glanced at the dean. How strange. I asked you once just now. Xiao Yao glanced at the other party's name. It seemed that the information given by the detection glasses was correct this time. Xiao Yao suddenly covered his head. Dean, what's wrong? Nothing, maybe I'm a little carsick. There are really people who don't get carsick when driving, but get carsick when riding in a car. Maybe their Dean Xiao Yao is such a person. The vehicle drove to the door of his house, and Xiao Yao took a look. Stop. Squeak. The armored personnel carrier stopped at the door of Xiao Yao's house. Wait for me here. Xiao Yao got out of the car and returned to this place again, the place where he had lived in the past. The last time he came back, Xiao Yao cleared out all the furniture and supplies. Now the house is just an empty house with nothing. Xiao Yao just looked around and left the house again. Mangsu, You stay in the car, next to this street. We will go to each house to clean up the supplies. Dean, don't I need to get off? You just need to be responsible for driving. There is nothing to learn. I have a storage space, and it's all about sweeping in. Okay. Xiao Mangsu pouted, looking reluctant. It was agreed that whoever performed well would be the captain. But now he asked her to stay in the car. What can she do? The remaining 7 people were on both sides of Xiao Yao, following closely behind him. Remember, next time you go out, leave a driver, 2 other people to guard the door, and the remaining 5 people will work together. First, make sure that all the zombies in the room are cleared. The first task is to clear the zombies. The second task is to search for supplies. The third task is to search and rescue survivors. Of course, this third task is also the most difficult. You can't be sure whether the survivors are good or bad, so you need to make on-the-spot judgments. In case the survivors are bad, then what awaits you may be the abyss. So, if you encounter a large team of survivors, don't rescue them. Since they are a team, they must have their own operating mechanism. We don't need to search and rescue them. We only need to search and rescue those who are alone. Do you understand? Understood. You two stay, and the rest of you follow me in. Yes. SHH. Remember, don't talk when you come out to search for supplies in the future. The sound of talking will attract zombies. All actions must be done with gestures. Everyone nodded. The door was locked, and Xiao Yao directly used a bronze key to open the door. Dean. What should we do if we encounter a door that cannot be opened in the future? We don't have any tools now. I'm going to give you a pair of big pliers to cut chains and stuff. You can't use my key, or I'll just give you a bunch. If you encounter a room that can't be opened, you can try to crack it violently without alerting the zombies. Xiao Yao didn't criticize his teammates for speaking suddenly. After all, these words couldn't be expressed with gestures. This time he was training with them. With his current strength of level 2 of the 3rd stage, he believed that there would be no zombies stronger than himself. After entering the room, search in a counterclockwise direction. Don't let everyone search together. Arrange one person to be on guard at the starting point. There may be zombies in other rooms. If there is no one on guard, you will be surrounded and no one will save you. Xiao Yao and his team entered the first room on the right first. There was a small storage room inside, which contained some messy tools. What surprised Xiao Yao was that he actually found a big pair of pliers. It was really like someone gave you a bun when you were hungry and someone gave you a pillow when you were sleepy. Xiao Yao handed the big pliers to the teammate behind him, and then opened the backpack to put all the remaining items in. This scene made several teammates look envious. My storage space cannot be used by others, but don't worry. I heard that several big guys in the long-mentioned military affairs department have a storage ring. When the time comes, I will get one for you. The Dean is mighty. However, you can only bear with it for now. You have to search for supplies with your hands. It's hard work. Dean, it's not hard. This is what we should do. Don't worry, I will take 10% of the supplies you search for as a reward for your team. Dean, this is not possible. This is too much? The armored personnel carriers we use also belong to the Dean, and the weapons and equipment also belong to the Dean. We are at most porters, but we don't deserve this 10% reward. No, this is what you deserve. Although I provided equipment and tools. However, without your efforts, I wouldn't be able to search for supplies with these equipment and tools, right? That's it. Of course, don't think 10% is too little. After all, these supplies of ours are still needed for everyone to survive the entire disaster period after the nuclear explosion. You have a heavy burden. Whether everyone can survive to the recovery period after the nuclear explosion depends on you. Dean, we are under so much pressure. We don't know how long the recovery period after the nuclear explosion will be. It's hard to say. It may take at least 3 months or several years. So long? We only have 3 days. Where can we collect so many supplies? Anyway, you guys try your best. If the supplies are insufficient, we can only arrange personnel to search for supplies on the ground again. However, by then the whole city will be razed to the ground by the nuclear explosion, and it may be difficult to get supplies. Dean, I have a suggestion. Oh? Tell me. To be honest, the amount of supplies we search for from the surrounding villages is really limited. Everyone knows that there is a Daang wholesale market on the edge of the city in the west of the city. It is the largest wholesale market in our Xiaoyang city. It can be said that the daily life in Xiaoyang city is inseparable from the Daang wholesale market. If we go there, with a Dean storage ring, we can even move the entire Daang wholesale market back. By then, we will not only survive in the cave for a year, but even 10 years should not be a problem. Yes, Dean, what Xiao-sun said makes sense. With the supplies from the Daang wholesale market, we can survive for 10 years without any problem. Another man next to him said, and the others also looked at Xiao Yao with outstanding eyes. Chapter 498 Reward Xiao-sun. Xiao Yao led the Qingshan hunting team to collect supplies in the village at the foot of the mountain. Team member Xiao-sun's words reminded the other teammates and Xiao Yao. Yes, Dean, what Xiao-sun said makes sense. With the supplies from the Daang wholesale market, we can survive in the cave for 10 years without any problem. Xiao Yao patted Xiao-sun on the shoulder. Your name is Xiao-sun, right? I'll give you a credit first. Your suggestion is great. Why didn't I think of it before? In order to commend you for this suggestion, I decided to reward you 1,000 copper coins. Copper coins. At this time, Xiao-sun was very happy to hear that there was a reward, but he was curious when he heard that the reward was copper coins. After all, he didn't know what copper coins were, and the teammates next to him didn't know what copper coins were either. This was a new word. What are copper coins? Copper coins are the common currency of our Xiao village in the future. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you that this is the unique currency of our Xiao village, the only one in the world, and there is no counterfeit. I believe that not only Xiao village, but the entire planet will use this currency in the future. As he said this, Xiao Yao took out dozens of copper coins and distributed them to them. Let you observe them in advance. Ah, this is a copper coin. It's so delicately made, and it's pure copper. Thank you for the reward, Dean. At this time, Xiao-sun happily thanked Xiao Yao. After all, 1,000 copper coins, although it doesn't sound like much, it feels very impressive. This is a coin they have never seen before. Xiao-sun, do you want the reward now, or wait until we get back to Xiao village? Dean, I'm fine with it. I'm not in a hurry. You look so impatient. You just want the copper coins now. Bring me the plastic bucket next to you. Yes, sir. Xiao-sun ran over and brought back a bucket from the side. Xiao-sun, might be the first survivor in Xiao village to have 1,000 copper coins. Of course, except for the Dean, he couldn't help but be happy. Hoo-la-la, with a sound of metal collision, 1,000 copper coins were taken out by Xiao Yao and put into the bucket. Wow, so many. Xiao-sun looked at the copper coins in the bucket, which was almost half full, and his eyes lit up. I'm rich. Several people around were staring at these copper coins in a daze. Although they didn't know what these copper coins could be used for, half a bucket of copper coins was still very visually impactful. Xiao-sun, this is your reward. If other people have any good suggestions, they can also give me suggestions. Once adopted, they will be rewarded with 1,000 copper coins. Yes, Dean, I also have a suggestion. Stop. We are out here to search for supplies, not to express opinions. What opinions and suggestions do you have? When I go back tonight, I will write them down. Otherwise, I can't remember them with my single-core 1 GHz brain, right? Besides, even if I remember them, I will reward you with copper coins. Will your armored personnel carriers have room for other supplies? Okay, Xiao-san's suggestion just now is very good. Dean, do you mean that we should go to the ocean wholesale market to collect supplies? No, it's already afternoon today. Even if we go to the ocean wholesale market, it will be evening when we get there. Besides, I won't take you with me to the ocean wholesale market this time. Dean, why? Yes, Dean, why not take us with you? You only saw countless supplies, but didn't see the danger. Let me ask you, since you all thought that Daang wholesale market is the largest wholesale market in Xiaoyang city, then what about other people? Would other people think of it? Even if they don't know, Xiao-sun also said before that Daang wholesale market is the largest wholesale market in Xiaoyang city, so there will definitely be countless people going there to purchase supplies before the end of the world. Now I don't know who is in charge there. It could be zombies, aliens, new humans, or the military department. Anyway, it will never be a peaceful place. No matter who occupies it, there will definitely be a bloody battle when I go to search for supplies this time. And your strength is too low. Frankly speaking, It is not very useful to follow me. Instead, I have to distract myself to protect you. After all, I am alone. I cannot guarantee the safety of all of you. Therefore, it is the best choice for you to stay in Xiao Yao village. Of course, letting you stay in Xiao Yao village does not mean that you stay in Xiao Yao village and do nothing. You still have an important task, which is to continue searching for supplies and rescuing survivors. Dean, you have already gone to the ocean wholesale market. Do we still need to continue searching for supplies? I hope you will abandon this terrible idea as soon as possible. Remember, don't rely on me for everything. What if all the supplies in the ocean wholesale market are destroyed? Or are they taken away by others first? You know, I am not the only one who has storage space. There are several people in the military aircraft department. I even suspect that this ocean wholesale market is already an empty wholesale market. Of course, I still have to go there once. After all, seeing is believing. In addition, what if I can't come back on the day of the nuclear explosion? Everything has its contingencies. You'd better do your best to search for enough supplies, so that even if you don't rely on me, you can survive for a while. We know what the dean taught you. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me directly. I will answer them if I can. Don't keep them in your stomach. Do you understand? Yes, Dean. Okay, start searching for supplies now. You start collecting in this house. I'll start in the next house. You search one and I search one. This can also speed up the process. You can also get a 10% reward for the supplies you search this time. Oh, thank you, Dean. Let's get started. Search for as many supplies as possible before it gets dark. The remaining 5 people started to clear the house directly. Xiao Yao opened the small map again and looked at it again. There was no red dot, which means there was no enemy. Xiao Yao was relieved without the enemy. Xiao Yao directly exited the house. Dean. The 2 teammates on guard at the door greeted Xiao Yao. Well, they are searching for supplies inside. I'll go to the next door to collect them. At this time, Zhao Mangsu, who was in the armored personnel carrier, glared at Xiao Yao's back with hatred as he left. This Dean Xiao didn't even let me go. He really thinks I'm a driver. Humph. Even if he doesn't let me go, I'll go anyway. Zhao Mangsu got off the armored personnel carrier and followed behind Xiao Yao, heading towards the house next door. Chapter 499 Mutated Mouse. In order to speed up the process of collecting materials, Xiao Yao and his teammates acted separately. After confirming that there were no zombies in the house just now, Xiao Yao went to the house next door alone. At this time, Xiao Yao was already familiar with the road, and he directly opened the door with a bronze key. This was a relatively new house, which seemed to be where young people lived. Suddenly, Xiao Yao felt that she was being followed. She glanced at it with her eyes and found that someone was following her. The poor tracking technology directly betrayed her. If it wasn't Zhao Mangsu, who else? This woman actually disobeyed her command and got off the cart privately. She actually followed her. Xiao Yao felt that she had to teach her a lesson. Xiao Yao went straight into the yard and pretended not to find Zhao Mangsu. Xiao Yao saw the zombie sitting next to the screen wall in the distance. The corners of Xiao Yao's mouth rose slightly, and he quickly flashed into the yard, and then hid behind the door. The zombie sitting there just turned his head slightly to look in the direction of the gate, and when he saw that there was no living creature, he turned his head again and fell into standby mode. If you don't look closely, it's a corpse. Through the crack in the door, Xiao Yao saw a sneaky figure coming over. It was Zhao Mangsu. She tiptoed into the yard. There was no shadow of Dean Xiao Yao in sight. It seemed that Xiao Yao had already entered the room. Zhao Mangsu did not pay attention to the zombie in the corner of the screen wall. Dean Xiao Yao had entered the yard, so this zombie must have been killed by Xiao Yao long ago. Zhao Mangsu tiptoed to the zombie and got goosebumps when she saw the zombie's body. Roar. But the zombie was startled by Zhao Mangsu's voice, or the breath of the living person on Zhao Mangsu was too close, and the zombie woke up again. Seeing the human in front of him, the zombie excitedly opened his bloody mouth and pounced directly at Zhao Mangsu. Ah! A piercing scream came out of Zhao Mangsu's mouth. Zhao Mangsu, who wanted to escape, suddenly had weak legs and fell to the ground. However, her survival instincts made her retreat. Zhao Mangsu hurriedly retreated a few steps, then desperately got up and ran out the door. Bang! Ah! Zhao Mangsu bumped into Xiao Yao's arms and screamed in fear. It's me, it's me. Dean, why are you outside? I've been here the whole time, but didn't I tell you to stay in the car and don't get out? What? Are you disobeying orders? Puchy. Xiao Yao threw a copper coin and shot it directly into the zombie's forehead, and the zombie that had already rushed over was shot on the head. Then Xiao Yao hugged Zhao Mengsu and dodged to the side, and the zombie's body fell directly to the place where they had just stood. Dean, thank you for saving me. You haven't answered me yet. Are you disobeying orders? I know I was wrong. At the end of today's trip, go back and face the wall for 1 day. There is no order without rules. This is your punishment. If you make a mistake next time, it will not be a punishment of facing the wall for 1 day. Dean, I know I was wrong. Please give me another chance. Now, immediately, get back in the car. Dean, I was wrong. At this time, Zhao Mengsu suddenly hugged Xiao Yao's neck with both hands. Xiao Yao directly shook Zhao Mengsu's hands. Don't try to use the beauty trap, otherwise the crime will be aggravated. Now get back in the car and the punishment can be cancelled, otherwise it will be doubled. Yes, Dean. Zhao Mengsu went back in dismay. Dean Xiao Yao didn't buy this. Could it be that Dean Xiao Yao is a glass? Xiao Yao shook his head as he looked at Zhao Mengsu's back. Although he was already a scumbag, he couldn't be so scumbag. If he really opened a harem without restraint, the entire Xiao Yao village could be said to be his harem. Would that make sense? Natural disasters are something that can be experienced lightly. If you really indulge in them, it will be boring. Xiao Yao returned to the yard. This was an ordinary quadrangle-style farmhouse. The east, west and south were all bungalows, and the north house was a tiled house. At this time, there was still a corpse lying in the yard, but there was an axe on the head of the corpse, and the ground was covered with dried blood, as black as asphalt. Xiao Yao had roughly guessed that the one who was killed was probably a zombie that mutated first. The zombie just now was probably a survivor before, but was scratched or bitten in the fight with the zombies, and soon became a zombie. Xiao Yao looked at the words written in blood on the wall. God has abandoned us. Alice. Xiao Yao sighed heavily. He must have felt very heavy when he killed his relatives with his own hands. However, presumably, the process of becoming a zombie was very fast, and his mood did not last long. In order to prevent them from becoming Jiang zombies again, Xiao Yao directly collected the bodies of the 2 zombies and spent some copper coins to recycle them. The next step was to collect the supplies of this family. Last time, in order to free up space in the backpack, Xiao Yao basically recycled the supplies that were not very useful. So there were only less than 100 items stored in 1,000 backpack spaces, and most of the space was empty. That's right, now the space of the backpack has reached 1,000 grids, and this is also the limit of the backpack. Continuing to use the secret treasure grid will not increase the space of the backpack. Xiao Yao guessed that most of the time, other methods were needed to continue to increase the space, but this system did not prompt. Perhaps, after completing Yuzinaru's main task in upgrading the system to a level 2 system, the prompt will probably appear again. Xiao Yao collected all the items that could be stored in his backpack. The camera in the middle of the detection glasses was like a huge vacuum cleaner, collecting the items directly facing it into the backpack one by one. Squeak, squeak. Suddenly, Xiao Yao heard a few strange sounds. Xiao Yao looked in the direction of the sound and saw an animal the size of a rabbit staring at Xiao Yao in the corner of a closet. Oh my god, it's a mutant mouse. Xiao Yao was shocked by the mutant mouse in front of him. How could this mouse be so big, as big as a rabbit? Squeak, squeak. The mouse found Xiao Yao and did not run away but ran towards Xiao Yao. Bang! Xiao Yao saw the right moment and kicked out, just kicking the mouse's body. Squeak. The mouse squeaked and then stopped making any sound. It fell to its death with its 4 legs up in the air. It seems that not only the animal has mutated, but also its body has changed. Xiao Yao's face was a little solemn at this time. Qingshan Xiao Yao village was fine, but because of his big fire, the whole Qingshan was burned. Chapter 500 Return early. While collecting supplies, Xiao Yao suddenly encountered a mutant rat as big as a rabbit. Fortunately, he had set a fire and burned Qingshan all over. I believe that the ordinary mutant animals should have been burned to death, and those with stronger vitality may have escaped from Qingshan. In the short term, Qingshan is still safe. Squeak. Squeak. Suddenly, Xiao Yao heard the sound of rats again, and saw another rabbit-sized rat appear next to the wardrobe, followed by 2 and 3. There was a hole bitten open next to the wardrobe, and it was for this reason that Xiao Yao did not take this broken wardrobe. The rat got out of the hole in the wardrobe. Damn, there is actually a rat hole here. Xiao Yao did not retreat but advanced, and directly took out the samurai sword and rushed forward. In such a narrow space, it is difficult to use the giant sword of the ancient god, so this more convenient samurai sword can only be used. Squeak. The mutant rats rushed up desperately. Puff. Puff. What greeted them was Xiao Yao's sharp samurai sword. There were more and more rats, far more than the number that could be hidden in a wardrobe. There were almost 100 of them. Is this a monster spawner? The rats all came out of the wardrobe. After killing a few rats, Xiao Yao kicked the wardrobe open. After killing a few more rats in the wardrobe, Xiao Yao put the wardrobe directly into his backpack. There was a hole as big as a wash basin under the wardrobe, and rats were still coming out of the hole. Damn it! This rat hole led to the underground. Xiao Yao couldn't go underground to kill rats. Xiao Yao squatted at the entrance of the rat hole. When a rat came out, Xiao Yao killed it. When a rat came out, Xiao Yao killed it. No, if this goes on, I won't have time to do anything else. Besides, there is no experience point in killing these rats. There is no point in squatting here. Ah! Suddenly, a woman screamed. It's Zhao Mangsu. Xiao Yao took out a heavy object again, pressed it on the entrance of the rat hole, and then ran out of the yard. At this time, Xiao Yao saw the team members next door also ran out in a panic. They quickly got on the armored personnel carrier, while the few people behind were still using sticks to deal with the chasing enemies. It's a mutant rat. Xiao Yao found that several rats as big as rabbits rushed out from the door next door, waiting for an opportunity to bite them. Flame dash. In order to reach his teammates as soon as possible, Xiao Yao ran and used the displacement skill of flame dash in the middle. You get on the car first, I'll deal with them. Dean, be careful. Several people knew that this was not the time to be a hero. Dean Xiao Yao was still more powerful in dealing with the enemy, and they quickly got on the armored personnel carrier. Dean, we're on the car, come on. Faced with a steady stream of rats, Xiao Yao did not retreat but advanced. He had to eliminate all these rats, otherwise the rats would return to Qingshan Xiao village along the armored personnel carrier, which would be a big impact on the village. Those ordinary survivors could not withstand the bites of the first-level rats. After all, the speed of the first-level rats was very fast, and ordinary survivors could not escape the pursuit of the rats at all. In order to resolve the battle quickly, Xiao Yao directly activated the first-order awakening skill, the burning flame of justice. As the battle was drawing to a close, Xiao Yao once again found the rat's nest in the yard, which was actually under a stove in the south bungalow. After killing a few of them, the frequency of the rats coming out became less frequent, with one coming out every 10 seconds or so. Xiao Yao directly took out a stone pier to block the entrance of the hole. The power of the first-order rats was too strong, and ordinary wood could no longer block the entrance. Xiao Yao even felt that even this stone pier might not be able to hold it off for long. After dealing with a small group of mutant rats, Xiao Yao exited the yard. Dean. Here we come. Xiao Yao quickly boarded the armored personnel carrier. Turn around and go back to the village. Boom boom. The armored personnel carrier started again. The female driver Zhao Mangsu had already entered the state and drove the armored personnel carrier directly back. Dean, what should we do? Should we continue to search for supplies? I stopped the search temporarily. I didn't think it through. In addition to humans mutating into zombies, animals will also mutate into zombies. And without humans for this month, now, this city has begun to become the world of animals. Dean, what should we do? We can't go out and search for supplies. I see. It seems that a trip to the ocean wholesale market is inevitable. The group was silent again. They thought they could help the Dean and do something for this group. However, the mutant animals have begun to occupy various villages. There are many animals raised in rural areas, not just poultry, dogs, and cats. Even those animals that are not domesticated, such as mice, have begun to mutate slowly and occupied the places that belong to humans. Of course, there should still be more zombies in towns now. After all, there are not many animals in towns at ordinary times. Some are probably those pets that are raised. After all, they are a minority. The countryside is the first place to be occupied by animals. Don't be so sad. As long as we can survive 3 days, the nuclear explosion will blow these mutant animals into powder. Dean, but will there be so many supplies in the ocean wholesale market? If there are not so many supplies in the ocean wholesale market, we may really starve to death. Don't be so pessimistic. Even if there is no food in the ocean wholesale market, we will flee this city after the nuclear explosion. At worst, we will go to war with the people of the military affairs department. Do we really have to go to war with the military affairs department? You have to know that if the disaster only happens in Xiao City, then the people outside Xiao City are all ordinary people. And the survivors in our Xiao City, the lowest level has almost reached level 10, which is the physical fitness of the special forces outside. Even if we really have to go to war with the military affairs department, at that time, I will arm you all, at least to the extent of ignoring ordinary bullets. I believe that when the time comes, we will choose a breakthrough point to break through, and the chances of escaping are still quite large. It would be great if they don't kill us. In addition to being killed, there is another possibility for those who ran away from Xiao City. Dean, what possibility? Everyone knows that Xiao City has been overrun by zombies, and only 1 out of 10 people survive. So, even if we manage to escape, once they catch us, they might use us as guinea pigs, lock us up for experiments, or even slice us up. If that's the case, we might as well stay in Xiao City. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.